Chapter 1 Your father is still your father. Jiang Luo held the pristine Chenyuan umbrella and walked out from the blood rain, staring coldly at the bodies strewn across the main hall. Ah! He's gone mad, he's gone mad. Father, stop. The soft, cute voice trembled with lingering fear, but more with excitement and pride. Its host was Dad. 1,000,000 demons were reduced to ashes in an instant. Dad, although you fought off the 12 demonic immortals sent by heaven, there are still 12 golden immortals. I'm scared. A cold smile curled at the corner of Jiang Luo's mouth. He looked at the panda dumpling, the size of a fist, sitting on his shoulder. They should be the ones who are afraid. As my system, don't you feel utterly ashamed to utter that word, wishing you could find a brick to smash yourself to death? Back then, heaven feared the supreme power of the divine race and devised a plan to send him the only true God into infinite reincarnation. If they meant for him to suffer miserable deaths life after life, they should have foreseen an ending like today's. Those who should tremble and quake are those treacherous, despicable hypocrites. Daddy doesn't love baby anymore. Has Daddy fallen for someone else? Papa, you're starting to loathe me. Do you have another baby? Jintuan is a divine clan's companion spirit. At first the Celestial Tao League plotted to frame Jiang Luo and strip him of his divinity. They intended to cast him into the realm of beasts' reincarnation, to erode the godliness within him so that the heavens would be without gods once more. The golden pellet spent its life's cultivation, defying fate to send its master into a normal cycle of reincarnation. However, the Celestial Tao League had many spies. It wasn't long before Jiang Luo's existence was discovered. So they used immortal power to seal him again, making him suffer the 7 emotions and 6 desires in various worlds, basically cannon fodder. Across lifetimes, doomed to suffer and never die well. Jiang Luo accumulated strength over 100 reincarnations. He slaughtered 12 demon immortals and drenched the demon realm in blood before hundreds of true immortals of the Immortal Tao Alliance. For 1,000 years the Heavenly Tao Alliance hunted Jiang Luo, focusing entirely on how to eliminate him as soon as possible. They paid no heed to the mortals being slaughtered by the demon realm. The world engulfed in suffering. Immortals cannot hear mortals' prayers. So they placed their hopes on Jiang Luo. It was precisely this hundreds of billions of power of faith that allowed Jiang Luo to break free from the bonds of fate and regain half of his strength. Spoiled by favor. Jiang Luo pinched the golden lump that had transformed into a panda, a trace of warmth appearing in his cold eyes as he checked how much of my faith power remained. Clearing out the demon realm is a mortal's wish, and it is also Jiang Luo's duty. The reason he felt fearless toward the immortal realm was because he had devoted followers who worshipped him to the hilt. Their numbers were so vast they set a new historical record, even slightly surpassing the Creator God. Father created so much slaughter. The power of that faith must have been completely wiped out. The little gold orb wiltedly opened the system interface. It was already prepared to sacrifice itself to protect its master. It and its master were true love, truer than real gold. 1. Jintuan stared at the wildly rolling numbers, his panda eyes round with astonishment. He happily jumped onto Jiang Luo's lap. 10 billion. Dad is forever the God. The power of faith is the source of a God's strength. The demon immortal has become immortal. Jiang Luo's slaying of immortals is heavily bound by karma. The debts of causality cancel out, the power of faith should have been nullified. Demons are very unpopular in the Heavenly Tao Alliance. After all, they are demons. The Heavenly Tao Alliance was ready to sit back and reap the benefits as the two sides wore each other down. Who would have thought mortals' faith could be so extraordinary? That is Naturito. You not even see who I am. Jiang Luo bent to pick up the golden bundle, placed it on his shoulder, and lifted his gaze to the 12 golden immortals charging in with overwhelming momentum, his eyes narrowing dangerously. Jiang Luo. You slaughtered living beings and exterminated demon immortals, your crimes are unforgivable. Surrender now and accept execution to atone. The 12 golden immortals looked down from their lofty positions at the fallen deity. The thrill of exterminating a god sent their nerves racing with excitement. Kill him, devour his soul, and their cultivation would multiply. In the eyes of the 12 golden immortals, Jiang Luo was prey whose spirit could be consumed to increase their spiritual power. The assembled immortals scrambled for the coveted assignment, all putting on airs. Jiang Luo watched the faith power in his spirit sea roll up to 20 billion. He tilted his umbrella aside, his eyes like crushed ice, murderous intent soaring. Yin Hong's mouth curved at the corner, blood-red, smiling wickedly. Not bad. The immortals, seeing him back down, smugly said, "Ha, so you're sensible. Before I die I'll give you all a little gift." A highly mocking smile curled at the corner of Jiang Luo's mouth, and the Qian Yuan umbrella in his palm transformed into a sharp sword that slays gods and destroys demons. "Go to hell, you filthy beasts." The Qian Yuan sword suddenly surged thousands of zhang, its boundless power drawing thunderclouds rolling across the sky. As the earth trembled, the sharp sword light charged at the immortals who had just been lofty above with an overwhelming force. Rumble. Aahaha. The ear-splitting screams echoed up to the heavens. Jinduan was so shocked his eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. The master actually extinguished 12 golden immortals with a single wave of his hand. Your dad is still your dad. But Jin Tuan looked at the system interface that only had a few thousand faith power left, so anxious he was almost in tears. What are you panicking for? Jiang Luo pinched its fluffy ear, saying, "It'll help you get back the faith power you've lost." Jin Tuan looked at Jiang Luo with adoration. How do we get it back? Jiang Luo plucked a single golden prayer message from the hundreds of billions of people praying. Hanging around with Dad, living the high life. The 12 golden immortals are dead. The Heavenly Tao Alliance has been heavily damaged. This time, let's see who can still stop him from gaining faith. Whoever interferes shall be killed without mercy. If he's going to be a father, hell be the father of the whole world. Chapter 2 Debuting in the Center Position 1. Jiang Luo sat in a vast, boundless space, before him a 360-degree array of electronic screens. On the screens, thousands upon thousands of devotees were devoutly bowing to his idol. A constant stream of faith flowed into the idol, specks of golden light making his statue appear handsome and majestic. The Heavenly Tao Alliance destroyed Jiang Luo's body. He is now only a wisp of consciousness. Unlike the electronic screen, the faith value in the bottom right corner of the system is frozen at 100. The faith power inside the system is different from that outside. The external faith power is used to repair his body. The system was indeed used to repair his soul and restore his spiritual power. The only connection between inside and outside was that Jiang Luo could randomly select a believer's wish, help fulfill it, and thereby gain faith points. At that rate, it wouldn't be long before Jiang Luo's body returned to its original state. What matters most now is raising the system's internal faith value. When his power returns to its peak, hell blow the Heavenly Tao Alliance to pieces. Jiang Luo, let the mission begin. The golden blob stretched out its little feet and pawed at the leg of Jiang Luo's trousers. Master, won't you take a break? Time is power. Okay, the first one is the modern world. The original host hoped to successfully debut. Jiang Luo's soul merged into the body of the petitioner. In the darkness, Jiang Luo felt himself lying on something soft, though he couldn't tell exactly where. He closed his eyes and took in the plot. This was a story about a talent show in the entertainment industry. The original host shared the same name as him. Both were called Jiang Luo. Jiang Luo should have been the son of a wealthy family. As a child he sneaked out to the Lantern Festival with his older brother Jiang Ci. Unexpectedly, his brother lost him, and he was kidnapped by traffickers. Fortunately, an elderly grandmother in her twilight years sacrificed herself to save him. The old woman raised him until he was 13, then died of illness. The original host was a genius in musical composition. He became famous at home and abroad with a single called Bad Boy, sparking a rap craze in the music world and becoming the hottest music of the year, topping annual charts across major music lists. The song's huge success brought the original host intense attention. He kept a low profile and refused media interviews, focusing on making songs. Composed 8 songs in 1 year. Each song had a distinct musical style. The online singer love of Home's reputation was completely established. The original owner used the money earned from selling songs to study abroad for several years. His fame in the country gradually faded, but he kept a group of die-hard fans. After returning from advanced study, the original host participated in the hottest boy group audition show in the entertainment industry. The Birth of an Idol. During the physical exam, the show's producer and CEO Jiang Ci recognized the original host as his biological younger brother. At the same time, Jiang Ci's childhood friend Su Yuanbai also took part in this talent show. To pave the way for his childhood friend, he crafted a rich second-generation persona as a creative vocal both singer and songwriter. Jiang Ci used the condition of acknowledge your ancestry to get Jiang Luo to write songs for his childhood friend, and wrote a confidentiality clause forbidding him from telling anyone. If only Jiang Luo hadn't been lost by Jiang Ci. With the Jiang family's backing, Jiang Luo would undoubtedly become a superstar who shook the music world. But Jiang Ci, for his own selfish desires, personally destroyed his younger brother's future. All just to ensure the childhood playmate had doted on since they were little could debut as the center. The day before becoming a trainee. Due to staff negligence, the spotlight above the stage suddenly fell. It crashed down onto Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai, who were rehearsing. To gain some rebound and avoid danger, Su Yuanbai shoved the original owner hard. The original person wasn't struck by the stage light, but the splintering glass fragments disfigured Jiang Luo. Jiang Luo had easily passed the preliminary selection, yet at the first public performance, because of the scars left on her face, she tearfully withdrew from the stage she loved. After returning to the Jiang family, the original person, under her brother's threats, continued to serve as Su Yuanbai's ghost composer. Su Yuanbai debuted in the center position and became a popular star. He grew arrogant and complacent. Once he obtained Jiang Luo's manuscript and showed it off on Weibo, someone recognized Jiang Luo's handwriting and he was caught in a plagiarism scandal. Su Yuanbai cried bitterly, "Jiang Luo, you've withdrawn behind the scenes and can no longer stand on stage. Can you help me this one time?" The original author admitted to plagiarizing the work of the plagiarist. What an ironic joke. Jiang Luo refused. Su Yuanbai could only turn to Jiang Ci, who dotes on him. Jiang Ci said in one sentence, "Xiao Bai will be your sister-in-law from now on, whether you help or not, you have to, otherwise the Jiang family will have no place for you to stand." At this time, Jiang Ci had taken control of the Jiang family. Jiang father and Jiang mother were so upset about their eldest son being homosexual that they were hospitalized. Jiang Ci was a ruthless person. As long as his parents refused to let Su Yuanbai into the house, he would refuse to let the hospital treat the two elders. For his parents' sake, Jiang Luo was forced to clarify that he was Jiang Ci's lover. After this incident, a deluge of curses and clamor swept in. Su Yuanbai's fans went on a rampage against Jiang Luo, cyberbullying him and doxing his real-world information. Even Jiang Luo's parents who supported him thought their youngest son was the disgrace of the Jiang family. The last straw broke Jiang Luo. One night, Jiang Luo went to pay respects at his grandmother's grave, the one who raised him. Then he jumped into the sea and ended his own life. A once top-tier songwriter died alone. Chapter 3 Debut in the Center Position 2. The plot has now reached the point where Jiang Luo has just returned to the country and is recommended by a friend as an individual trainee to join the Birth of an Idol. Outside the window, it was pitch dark. Jiang Luo took out his phone to check the time. 2 a.m. Jean Tuan was snoring in his spirit sea, his soft body fully relaxed, utterly unsuspecting. When Jiang Luo was exterminating gods and demons, he sensed a powerful force pressing in. At that time he was fully focused on dealing with the 12 demon immortals and the 12 golden immortals. Unable to spare any copies of himself. Recollecting it now, it was extremely perilous. Such overwhelming power was at least on par with his at the level of a heavenly demon. The degree of danger was second only to the Celestial Path Alliance. But after receiving the assignment, Jiang Luo didn't sense that terrifying power. The next day, Jiang Luo left early in the morning. He returned at 2 in the morning. 3 days later, TL Entertainment Studio. 100 young, handsome boys gathered backstage. The staff instructed everyone to wait for the medical reports. Jiang Luo sat alone in the most secluded spot. In the noisy hall, he was unnaturally quiet. I heard this time 7 people will debut as a group, with 100 trainees. The competition is too intense. Last year's breakout internet singer Su Yuanbai is here too, has connections and backing, he'll definitely debut in the center. So only 6 spots remain. The trainees participating in the talent show come from major agencies, and there are also independent trainees. The conditions for debuting as an idol are extremely harsh. Even with a talent agency backing them, a trainee who has practiced for 3 to 5 years isn't necessarily going to be pushed into the spotlight. Aside from individual ability, audience appeal is also a strange thing. Some people are simply pleasing to look at. Do you see that person in the corner who's so dark and swarthy? A pretty trainee and her companions exchanged knowing looks ugly, dressed tackily, and just an individual trainee. She must be the cannon fodder who's only there to make others look good. Others who'd found common ground chimed in. As if they already held victory in their hands, smugness plastered across their faces. So what if she has talent? Still not accompanying the prince to study? The audience watches the face. No matter how strong the ability. An ugly-looking jerk is just poisoning the viewer's eyes. Pointed fingers and whispers aside, Jiang Luo played on his phone, ears deaf to it all. Laugh while you can, laugh a little more now, for there will be time enough for you to cry. Suddenly, a murmur of astonishment ran through the crowd. A silver-gray Maybach appeared before them. The world's only limited edition car showcased its owner's prestige. The car door opened. A man in a black suit stepped out of the vehicle. The man was strikingly handsome, his brows and eyes sharp as blades. A pair of jet-black eyes like onyx radiated an aristocratic, haughty air, dazzling like a starry sky. A chill seeping from his bones made people instinctively back away 3 steps. Luo Xiao is an internationally award-winning producer. Ah, I'm so happy I could faint. Luo Xiao is actually our mentor. Fortunate are those the music world's kings and queens have been guided by him. Everyone admired the tall, upright Luo Xiaochen. Batting their eyelashes and showing their most beautiful sides. Everyone thought they were the most special one. Get Luo Xiao. Debut in the center position. There are actor couples formed on film crews. Talent shows also have temporary lovers. They get to enjoy themselves and secure more resources. Why wouldn't they? In an entertainment industry whose moral bottom line is virtually non-existent, who knows how many people are clawing to get into Luo Xiao's bed? Jiang Luo looked up. Their eyes met. Buzz buzz buzz. Staring at the text message on her phone, a beautiful curve lifted the corners of Jiang Luo's mouth. She didn't notice the man's deep gaze at all. Teacher Luo. A fair, handsome young man stepped out of the crowd. My name is Su Yuanbai. Sorry to bother you, could you teach me some singing techniques? Su Yuanbai had fair skin and fine, elongated features. When he smiled, 2 dimples appeared at the corners of his mouth. His every gesture conveyed the air of a wealthy young master, which made him very likable. Jiang Luo glanced at the protagonist, a trace of disgust flashing in his eyes. Only someone blind like Jiang Ci would be attracted to this effeminate type. Luo Xiaochen said coldly, "Who are you?" The dim gaze was like a knife plunging into Su Yuanbai's heart, a chill rising from his feet to his scalp. Chapter 4 Debut in the C Position 3. Su Yuanbai had just introduced himself. When Luo Xiaochen asked like that, it was obviously not asking his name. He was the most popular online singer at the moment. Jiang Luo spoke slowly, his voice, somewhere between boyish and mature, was extremely charming and had millions of followers on DY. When Luo Xiaochen was talking to Su Yuanbai, Jiang Luo had the system transfer all of Luo Xiaochen's information to him. Luo Xiaochen, 28 years old. Worth tens of billions. A top-tier producer in the entertainment industry, the godfather of pop music, and a regular at the Grammys. The man who single-handedly lifted the domestic entertainment scene to the pinnacle of the global stage. Any album he releases will make even an unknown artist explode into fame overnight. The preliminary ratings for the birth of an idol are completed jointly by the mentors and the trainees. At the preliminary stage of this show, each trainee has one vote. Each of the 5 mentors has a 20-point vote, and each trainee has a 1-point vote. The mentors are all top tutors in the entertainment industry. Each one is a leader and authority in their respective professional field. Gaining the mentor's recognition is crucial. Luo Xiaochen is a representative of the academic school. He is exceptionally strict toward online singers who came from nowhere, lack knowledge of music theory, and become complacent after singing one well-known song. On the surface Jiang Luoming spoke for Su Yuanbai. In fact he was pointing out his origins. System, Master, you're such a black lotus. Jiang Luo replied to the system's cute golden orb in his sea of consciousness, killing with words, this is only the beginning. As expected. Hearing Su Yuanbai's background, Luo Xiaochen's handsome face darkened. He asked the assistant beside him what song was playing and to put it on. The assistant drew in a sharp breath at the cold aura radiating from the boss and tried to dissuade him earnestly. He really sang terribly, boss, don't force yourself. Who that collaborates with the boss isn't a music industry heavyweight. Having worked with Luo Xiaochen for a long time, the assistant's musical taste had skyrocketed. It's like someone used to exquisite delicacies looking down on plain, simple meals. It's still food mixed with shit, just the thought of it makes me sick. At those words, Su Yuan's face went pale as ash, he glared angrily. You didn't even listen, how do you know him no good, that him not worthy? Grief and indignation welled up in his chest, he couldn't understand why his masterpiece was worth nothing in Luo Xiaochen's eyes. He didn't even listen. On what basis could he make such a judgment? Luo Xiaochen glanced at his assistant, his piercing gaze landing instead on Jiang Luo, whose skin was sallow but whose eyes were as beautiful as glass beads. Su Yuanbai, is it? The assistant took out the video recorded during Su Yuanbai's interview. At the audition, you said this was your signature song. You failed to reach the high notes 3 times, and once you cracked. Your falsetto was off-key, and your runs were even worse. By the boss standards, you. The assistant smiled sweetly at the gathered trainees and said with a grin, I'm not targeting you, I'm just saying that everyone present is trash. The whole room erupted in uproar. After all, they were the company's key talents, otherwise they wouldn't have made it onto the show. But with Luo Xiao, they couldn't even pass the audition. Everyone who came here had dreams of becoming a star. The assistant shattered everyone's dreams mercilessly. Like stepping on their pride, slapping their faces. A blatant humiliation. No. Luo Xiaochen's deep gaze rested on Jiang Luo. 99% of those here are defective, only he deserves to stand on this stage. Jiang Luo's eyes swept over the disbelieving faces, and he felt very pleased. Chapter 5, Debuting in the Center Position 4. Why him? Jiang Luo. Him. On what grounds? Su Yuanbai is universally acknowledged by the trainees as the top one. The clip selected by Luo Xiao's assistant contained so many flaws, like slaps across Su Yuanbai's face. He felt ashamed and wronged. Su Yuanbai's delicate face twisted into an expression of extreme ugliness. He bit his lower lip and asked stubbornly. I made countless mistakes and was completely convinced, but Luo Xiao, as an advisor, insulted his students so much it was utterly disrespectful. Upon hearing this, Jiang Luo's mouth curved slightly. If telling the truth is considered an insult, then live in your own illusory little bubble, just listen to the flattery and be done with it. What's the point of showing off? Not convinced? Luo Xiaochen played Jiang Luo's audition video for everyone. The difficulty of this song is 10 times that of the one you sang, its range spans 3 octaves. Whether it's melisma or falsetto, both are above standard. Who gave you the confidence to compare yourself to him? Luo Xiaochen raised an eyebrow. Just because you sang some catchy tune written by someone else, you dare call it your own song? Is the entertainment industry a place anyone and everyone can enter? Su Yuanbai felt as if someone had slapped him, a burning, stinging pain. This was his signature song. So utterly pathetic. Su Yuanbai's peripheral vision swept over the gloating crowd, his expression was extremely ugly. Luo Xiao, it's just asking a question, no need to get so worked up. A cold voice came from a distance. The man in a suit approached from afar. His brows were set low, dark and sharp, yet the arch soared arrogantly, carrying the dominance of a superior and the dignity of nobility. Brother Jiang Xi. Su Yuanbai hurried over like he'd seen a savior. Why are you here? When Jiang Xi entered, he saw Su Yuanbai standing in the eye of the storm, being scolded by Luo Xiaochen. His wife, whom he raised himself, suffered such a great injustice he was heartbroken. Luo Xiaochen's gaze was fierce and defiant, his presence overwhelming. Does President Jiang have an objection? Jiang Sis aura diminished. This man must not be offended. His thin lips pressed lightly. Luo Xiao is joking. If Xiao Bai has offended you in any way, I will apologize to you on his behalf. As a show producer, Jiang Xi was well aware of Luo Xiao's status in the entertainment industry. He was crucial to the production team. Luo Xiaochen glanced at him and said to Jiang Luo, sang well. Jiang Luo remained unruffled, watching Luo Xiao leave, and said, thank you. Jiang Xi held a medical report and a DNA verification certificate in his hands, looking at Jiang Luo with a complicated expression. He opened his mouth. Jiang Luo. Jiang Xi felt guilty about this younger brother. If he hadn't been negligent, Jiang Luo wouldn't have gotten lost. Jiang Xi never expected to see a face in the trainees' photos that looked almost identical to his brother. So Jiang Xi ordered the doctor who gave Jiang Luo his physical to draw a little more blood and run a DNA test. The results stunned him. Jiang Luo turned out to be the younger brother he had lost himself. Jiang Luo pretended not to know and asked, Boss Jiang, did you call me because you need something? My younger brother is 18 this year. Unfortunately, he didn't inherit the Jiang family's outstanding looks. A white hoodie paired with skinny pants and sneakers, both tacky and low class. The only thing Jiang Luo can appreciate is his creative talent. Jiang Xi looked again at the delicately featured Su Yuanbai, his dark, arching brows and bright eyes. Proud and handsome. The younger brother simply failed to catch his eye. Having taken charge of the Jiang family and grown used to being the only one who matters, Jiang Xi cared only about appearances and never considered what great calamity had made Jiang Luo's life so miserable. Brother Jiang Xi. Su Yuanbai stood obediently at his side, looking at Jiang Luo with wariness. What are you doing here? Over the years he and Jiang Xi had broken up and gotten back together, quarreling every few days, making quite a spectacle for those around them. After their breakup, Jiang Xi had looked for a lover. He wouldn't have taken a shine to Jiang Luo, would he? Thinking of this, Su Yuanbai's heart was torn as if by knives. He had a personal matter to discuss with Jiang Luo. Jiang Xi patted his shoulder and said to Jiang Luo, come with me. Jiang Xi has a strong desire for control. Su Yuanbai is signed under his agency, his every move is under Jiang Si's control. When he arrived, Jiang Ci had just passed a proposal through the board to tilt the company's resources toward Su Yuanbai on the birth of an idol. It was to craft Su Yuanbai into a creative vocal artist, a perfect image of someone gifted in both talent and skills. The board selected several individual trainees without any backing. These trainees, unless they miraculously gain enormous popularity, will be eliminated at their first public performance. When that happens, they will lose their jobs and be forced out of the entertainment industry. Therefore, the company secretly signed a supplementary agreement with them. The terms of the agreement were that if they failed to win, the company would provide them with jobs as ghost composers and cooperate with the company's star-making plan. Jiang Luo was the prey eyed by that pack of wolves. Jiang Luo followed Jiang Ci up to the company's 21st floor. The secretary handed him a contract. Jiang Ci sat across from him. Watching his long-lost younger brother about to jump into the pit he had dug, a wave of guilt rising in his chest. Very soon, the guilt was wiped away by the tearful photo Su Yuanbai sent. Once Jiang Luo signs this contract, he'll be the second young master of the Jiang family. As his brother, he'll surely train him well and help him debut. And Su Yuanbai only had him left. Losing the chance to debut, the childhood friend would have nothing. Chapter 6 Debut at Center Position 5. Su Yuanbai, Jiang Ci. If you dare touch someone else, we're completely done for. Jiang Ci glanced at the message, and in his mind Su Yuanbai appeared like an angry little lion, hiding in the elevator and pretending to be delicate in a lively way. Su Yuanbai was exactly like that. Docile in front of others. Behind their back, a little lion brimming with energy. His one and only little lion. Jiang Ci left the conference room. About to call Su Yuanbai to playfully tease the little jealous one. Suddenly he received a message from his parents. Mom, Jiang Ci, your father and I are going to give you a surprise in a bit. Could it be that my parents have agreed to let me be with Xiaobai? Since her little son went missing, Madame Jiang's mental state has been unstable. Her eldest son became her only emotional support, following her almost everywhere. After Jiang Ci graduated from university, Madame Jiang had her husband gradually hand over authority to their eldest son. Watching him become an industry elite, carrying the entire Jiang group. As Jiang Ci grew older, Madame Jiang began arranging wealthy heiresses and high society matchups for Jiang Ci. She had thought her son's repeated refusals meant he didn't want to marry early. Until Madame Jiang accidentally saw Jiang Ci and Su Yuanbai naked together rolling in bed. The lurid smell in the room struck her like lightning. Her son's homosexuality was a heavy blow to her. Madame Jiang refused to accept Su Yuanbai for a long time. Jiang Ci broke ties with his family over this. In the years that followed, Jiang Ci hired psychiatrists to treat his parents. He was so firm that he made the two elders understand that homosexuality is not an illness. Madame Jiang's attitude toward him and Su Yuanbai slightly softened. When he saw his mother's message, his first reaction was that she was willing to accept Su Yuanbai. The heavy boulder that had been weighing on Jiang Ci's heart disappeared like smoke. I also want to give Mom a surprise. Back in the conference room, Jiang Ci looked at the stunned Jiang Luo and asked, "Did you sign?" Jiang Luo held the paternity test in his hands, tears glistening in his eyes, his long fingers trembling slightly. "Mr. Jiang, the test. You are my brother." Seeing him so emotional, Jiang Ci was slightly moved. "When I saw your photo, I had someone verify it." The original host longed for a family very much. The stage name was very straightforward, Homebound. As a child, when he saw a family of 3, he would lonelily follow behind, imagining his parents holding his hand as they walked. Fine, soft bangs hid Jiang Luo's handsome brows and eyes. Tanned by the sun, his skin made him look rustic, but his features were exquisitely sculpted. "It was my fault back then, I lost you." Jiang Xi took out 5 million cards and placed them on the cold tabletop. This is the compensation, if you think it's not enough. I can add more. Jiang Xi bought peace of mind with 5 million. Rather than spending a long time cultivating feelings. It was better to turn relationships between people into monetary relationships. Simple and straightforward. Jiang Xi was so tired from his daily busyness that he still had to soothe Su Yuanbai. He had no spare thought to cultivate a relationship. Jiang Luo put away the bank card, let the past be past. The former Jiang Luo was already dead. The original host was extremely craving for familial affection. That's how Jiang Xi dismissed the original owner back then. That guy didn't know how heartbroken he was. Jiang Xi, seeing him so open and frank, was taken aback for a moment. According to normal people's thinking. Shouldn't you have asked about the truth back then and refused in anger? This is fine too. A purely financial relationship makes things convenient. Jiang Xi sat on the leather sofa, his long legs crossed. The contract, has it been signed? This is the real point. Jiang Luo tilted his head and asked, there are some parts of this contract I don't quite understand. I just saw someone who knows the trade have the old master take a look. Jiang Luo. Jiang Xi's handsome face darkened. This is company confidential. If this contract were exposed by the media, I don't know how much effort it would take to clean up the mess. Mr. Jiang, no need to worry. The old man is an expert, he knows the consequences of leaking confidential information. Jiang Luo's beautiful peach blossom eyes swept over the people in the office. With a sidelong glance she caught those looking at the contract, a sharp glint flashing in her eyes. President Jiang, I just want to ask one thing, you knew who I was before you had me sign the contract, didn't you? Jiang Luo paused. Light fell from above. Her long eyelashes casting a thick shadow beneath her eyes. The slender youth looked rustic and dark. But those pretty eyes flashed a sharp light that made Jiang Xi's heart skip. You lost me for 8 years. Jiang Luo, seeing him remain silent, struck hard without hesitation. The first time I saw him, big brother wouldn't lie to me, would Heath younger brother who had been trafficked to a mountain village. Trafficked. Mountain village. Looking again at the boy like a black loach, I wondered how much suffering had endured over the years. He should have been the son of a wealthy family, yet he was fighting with 100 trainees for a bite to eat. Even Jiang Xi, with a heart of stone, couldn't bring himself to deceive him. He forced out one word, yes. Jiang Luo chuckled, big brother, you really think highly of me. Bring the contract here and sign it, today I'll take you home to meet my parents. Guilt mingled in Jiang Xi's heart, he pinched the bridge of his nose. Otherwise, this matter could be postponed for the time being. As a producer, Jiang Xi understood Jiang Luo's value. He was the indispensable stepping stone for Su Yuanbai to debut in the position. Jiang Luo sacrificed his future to win family affection, there was give and take, very fair. From beginning to end, Jiang Xi never felt any sense of kinship with Jiang Luo. In his view, this was an equal exchange. Jiang Luo's mouth curled, smiling dangerously and wickedly. He turned, looked at Madame Jiang and Mr. Jiang with sullen faces, wiped the smile from his eyes, replaced it with pain and sorrow, and donned the mask of feigned suffering. Bang! Old Mr. Jiang strode over, the blue file folder smacking hard against Jiang Xi's forehead. You even schemed against your own brother beast. Chapter 7 Debut in the center position 6. Blood poured from Jiang Xi's forehead. President Jiang. The company's employees were so frightened at the scene that they screamed. Jiang Xi covered the wound that was gurgling blood, fresh blood poured from between his fingers as if in a race. He suddenly kicked the door. Get out. The employee trembled. President Jiang was young and handsome, with decisive leadership. When the old chairman handed the company to him he had praised him without reservation. Everyone saw the mild-mannered, gentle old chairman lose his temper for the first time. Back when people came to the door to collect debts and smashed up the company, the old chairman would always calmly see them off. By the way, younger brother. It wasn't a secret in the company that Director Jiang had a missing younger brother. Could that intern in the conference room be his brother? No way. President Jiang knew that was his own biological younger brother and still treated him like that. Of course he did. I was the one who handled the DNA testing. Jiang Luo really is President Jiang's biological brother. I didn't expect President Jiang to be that kind of person. He lost Jiang Luo back then, and after finally finding him again he made him a scapegoat. President Jiang is gay, and Su Yuanbai is his boyfriend. Oh, you understand that relationship? Jiang Luo was so miserable, used as a stepping stone by his own brother. The employees who knew the truth all looked at Jiang Ci differently. Even his own younger brother would scheme like that. If anything went wrong at the company, wouldn't people like us employees be shoved out by the CEO to take the fall? In the conference room, Jiang Ci looked at his furious father stomping about, and his mother, so heartbroken she was about to faint, used a napkin to staunch the bleeding, and angrily ripped off his tie, throwing it onto the table. Father Jiang was seething with rage. Look at what you've done. These are contracts that devour people. If I hadn't come under your leadership, the company would have lost its morale and gone bankrupt sooner or later. Don't use that outdated, antique way of thinking to lecture me. Jiang Ci couldn't agree with his father's business philosophy. Dad, you're getting old. You can't keep up. In the era of traffic, if you don't exploit and extract an artist's surplus value, the company will go bankrupt. So after drifting in the business world for many years, you learned to screw over your younger brother? Father Jiang wailed in grief. Jiang Ci, don't forget it was you who lost him, causing your mother to pine herself ill. The disappearance of the younger son is a pain in both parents' hearts. Jiang Ci pressed his mouth into a line. Did he come back? What more does she want? He paused, then suddenly understood. Jiang Luo, you plotted against me. Jiang Luo shook his head in confusion, his mood heavy as he said. I just found out you are the family member I've been searching for all these years. The original owner was only 5 or 6 years old when she disappeared. She could only call for dad, mom, and brother. Crying as she called out, brother, baby can't find brother. The only impression she had was that she had parents and an older brother. System, dad, your tearful, heart-wrenching performance was superb. Jiang's mom was so moved she cried. Jiang Luo raised an undeniably skeptical brow. It's none of his business. Father Jiang said coldly, half a month ago your mother and I were in a car accident. Jiang Luo happened to save your mother. Your mother has R-negative panda blood and the hospital blood bank had no stock, so Jiang Luo offered to donate blood to us. When they did the blood test, the nurse said relatives couldn't donate blood. And that's when we realized he was the lost Luo Luo. A blessing in disguise. Jiang's mother found the younger son she had been separated from for many years. So? Jiang Ci exclaimed in shock. Mom says this is the surprise she had for me. Jiang's mother walked over to Jiang Luo's side, looking at the features that were 5 parts like her own, tears dripping down. Luo Luo, we were so happy to learn you've been looking for us. Later, after checking, we found out you were a trainee on the birth of an idol, so we wanted to surprise you. Who would have thought? Mother Jiang sobbed as she hugged Jiang Luo. Jiang Luo gently embraced the woman who had been the original's mother for over a decade, feeling comforted for the original. Jiang Ci looked at the 3 people with tears in their eyes. Their harmonious figures were especially glaring, and he felt extremely disgusted. Dad has never hugged me. It seemed, then, that Jiang Luo had not been scheming against him. Jiang Ci felt even more uncomfortable. He looked coldly at the 3 embracing people and forcibly interrupted the warmth. Dad, remember the matter I mentioned last time about the company shares? Father Jiang looked at his younger son with a sallow, gaunt face. Then he looked at his elder son with a sullen brow. I've decided to give the remaining 15% of the shares to Luo Luo. Father Jiang affectionately rubbed Jiang Luo's soft head so he wouldn't be bullied in the future. Jiang's mother agreed, saying Luo will take over my company's vice president position in the future. Buzz. Jiang Sis' head was ringing. He was being deprived of power. Chapter 8 Debut in the Center Position 7. Jiang Luo took 15% of the shares, and as vice president he could fully participate in the company's decision-making. Jiang Luo's taking wasn't just about power. It was also Jiang Sis' control over the company. System, father. So that's why you went out early and came back late that day. It was for today. Woo, the revival of the divine clan is looking hopeful, baby is so happy. The day after Jiang Luo woke up, according to the original host's memories, he appeared at just the right moment and saved Father Jiang and Mother Jiang. Only by taking the initiative can one control the whole situation. Jiang Luo used his divine sense to reply to Jin Tuan, I didn't expect Father Jiang to be so generous in compensating the original host, giving 15% of the shares. Even if Father Jiang hadn't given them. Jiang Luo also wants to take back the company. Are Jiang Xi and Su Yuanbai not true love? Without the support of money and power, what can Jiang Xi use to push true love to the center stage? No. Jiang Sis' face darkened, a terrifying low pressure emanating from him. Luo doesn't understand business management. How could she participate in company decisions? Jiang Luo let go of his mother and fell silent. The golden lump in his sea of consciousness jumped up angrily. When Dad was controlling the lifeblood of the whole world, you punk were still just a sperm. How dare you question its host? Heaven cool, the king broken capital doesn't even know how to destroy it, you stinking idiot. Heh. Jiang Luo looked at the red panda rolling angrily, contentedly squinting his eyes, in a very good mood. If you don't know, you can learn. Who's born knowing? Jiang's father thought of Jiang Sis' attitude toward the youngest son and felt utterly chilled. The matter was settled just like that. Jiang Xi pressed his thin lips into a line. Once father made a decision, he would never change it. ACI, we only wanted to ensure Luo's security, not Xi's power. Seeing her eldest son like this made Mother Jiang feel even more miserable. A mother doesn't want to witness her sons quarreling while she's still alive. Jiang Luo only laughed inwardly before saying, he'll always support my brother. He enunciated the two words heavily. Jiang Xi and Su Yuanbai forced the original owner to death. How could he not support him? Jiang's father acted decisively. The equity transfer documents were signed quickly. Under pressure, Jiang Xi gave Jiang Luo a titular deputy general manager position. At the same time, Jiang Luo's name was removed from the company's list of ghost composers. That evening there was a family banquet at the Jiang residence. After hearing about the life Jiang Luo led after being lost, Mother Jiang wept until she could hardly catch her breath. Amid Father Jiang's silence and sighs, Jiang Luo returned to the room. Jin Tuan, check the faith level. Master, current faith level, 1000. The original owner's parents are so heartbroken and guilty, boo-hoo, the baby also wants a mother. Jiang Luo. The original host has been living abroad these past few years. Ordinary people without money abroad worship natural beauty and don't pay much attention to skincare. In talent shows, the face is justice. The original host's facial features were very delicate and pretty, but her complexion was sallow and flawed. Solving those troubles, Jiang Luo would be the brightest star on the stage. The higher the faith points, the more the system will improve the Buddha's constitution and luck from the outside in. Although 1,000 faith points couldn't restore Jiang Luo's breathtaking beauty. But it was enough to improve his skin condition. Jiang Luo returned from the bathroom after freshening up, ran into the sullen-faced Jiang Xi on the way, and without exchanging any extra glances, went straight into the room. Jiang Xi stared at the boy's slender back. Images of his much whiter face floated through his mind. And a strange feeling rose in his chest. He actually thought his rustic-looking younger brother was kind of good-looking. The next morning, Jiang Luo arrived at TL Entertainment bright and early. Today's schedule was morning rehearsal, ratings beginning at noon, continuing until all 100 trainees had been rated. Boy bands must sing, dance, and rap, none can be missing. As individual trainees, Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai were assigned by the production team to rehearse the program together. The spotlight hit Jiang Luo's face, spreading white radiance and delicately outlining his exquisitely perfect features. Su Yuanbai glared angrily at Jiang Luo, who looked better than he did yesterday. Thinking about how he had waited for so long under the company building. He hadn't seen Jiang Ci appear, but watched them leave in pairs, and a fit of jealousy rose up. He was certain Jiang Luo must have slept with Jiang Ci. The bumpkin's flushed face, slightly paler skin. His whole being exuded the beauty nourished by love. Su Yuanbai grew angrier the more he thought about it, and he didn't hear the staff's screams. A stage light fell. Coming to his senses, Su Yuanbai looked at the falling stage light and his face changed dramatically. Chapter 9 debuting in the center position 8. Su Yuanbai instinctively used the momentum to dodge the disaster, pushing the people beside him. Wishing the stage lights would smash a hole in Jiang Luo's head, he wanted him to go back to the valley and stop hitting on Jiang Ci. However, the young man who had been dancing by his side a moment ago was now, somehow, standing 2 meters behind him. Su Yuanbai lunged and came up empty, his body crashing hard onto the ground. At the same time, the stage lights and light pillars fell from above, brutally smashing into Su Yuanbai's chest. Pfft. Su Yuanbai let out a muffled groan, not knowing exactly where he was hurt. And spat a mouthful of blood. Help, help. Warm nasal blood gurgled and flowed out. Su Yuanbai felt he was about to die. He felt something fly onto his face, a tearing pain as if it would rip the flesh from his face. The staff hurriedly carried Su Yuanbai up to the medical room. The trainee getting injured before the recording sent the producers into a panic. Manager Jiang, Su Yuanbai's face, forehead, and arms were all covered with shards of glass from the lights, speckled and gruesome to behold. When Jiang Ci arrived upon hearing the news and saw Su Yuanbai's mangled face, he flew into a rage. Useless. If anything happens to Xiao Bei's face, all of you get out. The doctor said, fortunately the wound isn't deep. Don't let it get wet before it heals, and absolutely avoid cosmetics. Apply the medication daily, once it's healed there's a good chance it won't leave a scar. A good chance? Jiang Ci's brows tightened. Was that to say Su Yuanbai would be disfigured? If his face is ruined, it'll peel your skin off. No matter how the doctor explained, Jiang Ci only wanted to hear that Su Yuanbai's face wouldn't have a scar. Inside the ward, Su Yuanbai, who had overheard the argument, went pale. The performance is this afternoon. Appearing on camera without makeup put him out there with that swollen, blood-smeared face to face the audience. How could that leave a good impression? Call everyone who's been with Xiao Bai. Jiang Zihuan suspected someone had tampered with things, have the stage inspected. If this kind of amateur mistake happens again during recording, get them all out. The show ran into this situation right after filming began. People in this line of work tend to be a bit superstitious. If things don't start off well, then more bad things might happen later on. When Jiang Luo was escorted by staff to see Jiang Ci, he happened to run into Luo Xiaochen. The sharp suit made Luo Xiaochen's broad shoulders and narrow waist stand out. His straight, long legs and perfect body proportions put international supermodels to shame. Luo Xiao, Jiang Luo greeted with a smile. Are you here to see President Jiang too? Luo Xiaochen's insight was astonishing. Not seeing him for a night, Jiang Luo looked much better. Today he wore youthful, spirited casual clothes, a shirt paired with a knit sweater made him look obedient and gentle, completely harmless, his whole person radiant. Luo Xiaochen nodded. The two of them walked side by side into the surveillance room. They hadn't even reached the door before they heard Jiang Sis roar. Jiang Luo and Xiao Bai were rehearsing together how did it end up hitting Xiao Bai. Watching the surveillance footage, where almost all the shards had driven into Su Yuanbai's face. A cruel smile appeared in Jiang Luo's eyes. He stood where it was carefully calculated. All Su Yuanbai had to do was push him. What met Su Yuanbai were 80% shards. In the last life, Su Yuanbai had the original host disfigure himself. Jiang Luo turned his face into a moon crater, giving tooth for tooth. Jiang Luo's gaze swept over the raging Jiang Xi, and he felt very pleased. The monitoring room was swept by a storm, all the staff bore the boss' wrath toward Su Yuanbai, their hatred and anger concentrating on him. Having enjoyed Jiang Sis' rage, Jiang Luo spoke slowly. Why didn't President Jiang ask why, when Su Yuanbai was about to be struck, he made the pushing motion? Who did he intend to push? Jiang Luo's voice was clear and pleasing. The words flowed gently, like a refreshing breeze, calming the aggrieved person's mood. Immediately after, everyone was thinking the same thing. Su Yuanbai's strange behavior was an attempt to push Jiang Luo. In an instant. It was terrifying. Chapter 10 Position Debut 9. Jiang Xi was furious to the extreme, almost grabbing something nearby to throw at Jiang Luo. Seeing Luo Xiaochen, he abruptly stopped. Luo Xiaochen's voice carried an unspoken threat. General Jiang wants to get into a fight with me? No. Jiang Xi broke out in a cold sweat. Not to mention the empire's richest family, the Luo clan. He certainly couldn't afford to offend Luo Xiaochen alone. I just wanted to know why Xiao Bai made that move, whether someone had provoked him. Jiang Xi spoke with implication. Jiang Luoxin knew that he begrudged his suddenly appearing younger brother for taking 15% of the shares. He smiled. Isn't that simple? The surveillance has audio, remove the noise and you'll know. Jiang Xi watched the surveillance footage 4 or 5 times. Aside from the sounds of Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai practicing, nothing unusual appeared. Seeing Luo Xiaochen's stern expression, Jiang Xi seemed to think of something and hurriedly said, "Don't listen to it, let's treat it as an accident. We can't just let it go like that." Jiang Luo walked up to the control panel and played the surveillance footage. President Jiang doesn't care about Su Yuanbai's innocence, I do. Jiang Sis' face went ashen. It wasn't that he didn't care about Su Yuanbai at all. Completely because I didn't hear an angry voice. Su Yuanbai's terrible singing was grating. TCH. He has the nerve to ask Lord Luo for pointers after singing like that. It's just unbearable. If it weren't for Jiang Luo holding him back, this song would have been impossible to listen to. An online singer is just an online singer. The part Su Yuanbai sang nearly killed me. Jiang Luo's part pulled me back from the brink of death again. No wonder Luo Xiao praised him highly. Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai, as individual trainees, were temporarily paired to sing as a duo. No contrast. No hurt. Everyone in the control room praised Jiang Luo's heavenly singing voice. Shut up. Jiang Xi roared and clamped his hand over everyone's mouths. His gaze was like a dagger tempered with poison, ruthlessly gouging at Jiang Luo. He had underestimated him. 30% of the decision-making power for the show The Birth of an Idol lay in Jiang Sis' hands. After this incident and the matter of the shares, Jiang Xi had come to regard Jiang Luo as his greatest obstacle. He absolutely wouldn't let him debut as he wished. Luo Xiao watched a farce and his opinion of Jiang Xi plummeted. Holding 50% of the decision-making power over The Birth of an Idol, he doubted whether Jiang Xi had the ability to keep the show going. Enough. Young Master Luo Xiao sharp as a knife's brown-knitted, his handsome face arrogantly lifted as he issued the command. President Jiang, the afternoon shoot plan remains unchanged. Jiang Xi felt a lump in his chest, neither rising nor falling. Unwilling, he gave a begrudging HM. Jiang Luo watched his exquisite expression with interest, a smile in his eyes. President Jiang, if there's nothing else, he'll be going. After the two left, Jiang Xi picked up the water cup from the monitoring room and smashed it to pieces in a fit of anger. You bunch of useless idiots. Can't do anything right, what's the point of having you? The staff bore the inexplicable fury, only daring to vent their dissatisfaction in their hearts. Assistant Zhao, arrange for me to meet with the other 4 mentors in half an hour. Jiang Xi adjusted the cufflinks on his suit and left with a fierce air. No one could stop him from paving the way for Su Yuanbai. His little lion must debut in the center position. Jiang Luo did not return to the rehearsal room, but went to the company headquarters. The receptionist girl escorted him to the deputy general manager's office. As soon as he entered, Jiang Luo saw several departments that were not taken seriously. Seeing that the newcomer was a young man with no management experience, everyone inwardly mourned. After getting to know the people and understanding how each department operated, Jiang Luo formulated a plan. Everyone thought the newly appointed vice president was an idiot. After they read the plan, they immediately apologized to themselves for underestimating him. I don't come to the office often, there are conference calls every night. After giving instructions, Jiang Luo left, and the people whose fighting spirit had been rekindled returned to the practice room. At noon, the show officially began filming. Chapter 11 debuting in the center position 10. The competition format of the birth of an idol is divided into A, B, C, D, and F levels. Trainees only have voting rights during their initial stage, 1 vote equals 1 point. Phase 1, ranking and seat selection. Phase 2, class assignment. Phase 3, group competitions. Announce the points ranking and eliminate the first batch of students. The 4th season regrouped the classes, organized team competitions, and held professional assessments. In the 5th season they ranked contestants, eliminated the second batch of trainees, and regrouped the classes. This continued until the 12th season, when the finals formed the group. Jiang Luo was an individual trainee. When all the trainees entered, he was deliberately pushed into the farthest corner. The center spot was naturally reserved for Su Yuanbai. Su Yuanbai held an ice pack in both hands to reduce the swelling. The delicate makeup blurred into a ghastly mess under the beads of moisture caused by the skin's alternating hot and cold, unbearable to look at. But the director in the control room received Jiang Xi's request to give him more shots, and even liked to focus in and zoom closer. The cameraman couldn't help complaining, "Director, why do you keep giving Su Yuanbai the shots? His face is swollen like a pig's, Jiang Luo looks better on camera than him. Ugly as hell." With a whole bunch of young, handsome idols available, the director not giving them camera time is a real headache for him. After all, in a talent show, fans are watching faces. If your face isn't good looking, the audience will all be scared away. After more than 60 trainees finished performing, Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai took the stage. Everyone's gaze was focused on Jiang Luo. "Hello, mentors. I am solo trainee Jiang Luo. No flashy self-introduction, Jiang Luo gets straight to the point. Next, Su Yuanbai and I will present the piece Swit. As the music starts, everyone's eyes turn to Jiang Luo. His humble attitude earned the approval of everyone present. Even though it was a duet. Those in the know understood that the two were competitors. If one stood out, the other became merely a foil. So many people, when introducing themselves or when the music started, would put their own name forward to make people remember them. Jiang Luo put Su Yuanbai's name first, causing everyone to be greatly surprised. Su Yuanbai was the first to speak. His clear voice quickly drew cheers from the crowd, who exclaimed that he truly was a popular online singer. Su Yuanbai had been underestimated on the day of the audition. "Ha ha ha, I really want to see Luo Xiao's face, didn't it get swollen from being slapped? He's truly a powerhouse. An idol." When Jiang Luo spoke, In an instant, everyone stood up in excitement. A heavenly voice. Jiang Luo's performance was utterly captivating. Damn, he could debut on his own, join some boy band audition. So strong, too strong. What's up with Su Yuanbai? His dancing is completely out of rhythm, even Jiang Luo can't pull him back. I was careless, thought Su Yuanbai was a big shot. His singing is just passable. His dancing misses the beaches worse than me. Performance complete. Standing on the stage, Jiang Luo smiled sweetly at everyone, where his innocent gaze swept, all the people hung their heads in shame. No wonder he was someone Luo Xiao valued. Jiang Luo seemed born for the stage. Jiang Luo, who brushed his bangs up, looked exquisitely radiant. His brilliant smile seemed to possess a magical power. It dissolved the darkness in everyone's hearts, making people involuntarily lift the corners of their mouths along with his smile. Voting begins now, please choose the contestant you think is the best. As the host's voice sounded, all the trainees and instructors present pressed the button together. That message surfaced in every trainee's mind, and they trembled as they pressed the vote button. Their choice would decide whether Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai would go to Class A or Class F. Chapter 12 C Position Debut 11. Time's up. According to the rules, individual vote counts. 1 vote equals 1 point for each trainee will not be disclosed until all trainees have finished performing. The host held the data coming from backstage, eyes widening in surprise. Such a result was simply too hurtful. The host's gaze swept over everyone present and finally fell on Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai. Jiang Luo's expression was calm. Jin Tuan had already told him the vote results. Everyone's vote counts were transparent to him, there were no secrets. Su Yuanbai was so nervous he couldn't speak. Although he knew Jiang Ci had already made the arrangements, he was still very nervous. The mentor could control. But the trainees are in competition with her, so they may not agree. The initial stage positioning is very important. It concerns the choice of dormitory, songs, and teammates. There are 7 people in Class A in total. All the initiative was in their hands. A high-energy, rousing upbeat song that could drive the atmosphere and rhythm of the whole hall could ignite everyone's passion, let everyone shine, score points for the team, and then the contestant with the most votes would get points. Every single point was crucial. Huff 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 huff. Only heavy breathing could be heard in Su Yuanbai's ears. I hereby announce that Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai received the highest score for their performance. The host deliberately paused for a moment. In an instant, the studio fell into a deathly silence. Everyone instinctively held their breath, hands clenched into fists, palms sweating with tension. Congratulations, Jiang Luo. The host excitedly announced the news to Jiang Luo. Jiang Luo glanced at Su Yuanbai, whose face was ashen and makeup smudged, and felt incredibly pleased. Cry all you want, this is only the beginning. Jiang Luo smiled. Thank you all for your recognition. I'll keep working hard. Especially on the vocal part. He deliberately bit down hard on the word vocal. 5 mentors, each holding 1 vote, and each vote was worth 20-something points. Only Luo Xiao didn't give his. The soothing voice instantly ignited the students' enthusiasm. The entire venue shouted Jiang Luo's name, passion like fire, setting the whole studio ablaze. It was the first time seeing a contestant so popular. The host smiled and said, not only that, Jiang Luo, you are currently the competitor with the highest score. We look forward to your future performances. After Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai finished their performance, Class A was reshuffled. Unsurprisingly, Jiang Luo entered Class A and moved from a shadowy corner to the center C position. Su Yuanbai sat dazedly in the Class seat. He turned and looked at Jiang Luo sitting in the undisputed C position, a roar of unwillingness rising in his chest. How could this happen? The backstage staff wore faces of shock and bewilderment. Before the show was filmed, Jiang Ci had given each trainee's agency a strict order: they must cast all their votes for Su Yuanbai, focusing on promoting the little childhood friend. Whoever votes for Jiang Luo, don't expect to appear on any of Jiang Group's shows in the future, and don't even think about cooperating to make money together. Jiang Group's influence in the entertainment industry is mediocre. But the birth of an idol is wholly led by Jiang Group, and if talent agencies want to promote their artists, this show is the best choice. Therefore, agencies would all do Jiang Ci a favor. However, what unfolded before their eyes was completely different from the prepared script. The production team and staff were in chaos, all checking frantically to see if their data had been wrong. Why is this happening? Jiang Ci shouted in fury. Xiao Bai's pride is so strong was assigned to Class F, how could he stand for that? Chapter 13 Debut in the Center Position 12. Jiang Ci stared at the live feed, veins bulging on his forehead. Group assignments, the people in charge of grouping, where are they? They're coming. A few staff members walked in, dripping with sweat. Jiang Ci's face went dark. Check it for me. Did Jiang Luo cheat or not? Everyone nervously inspected the voting equipment for problems. At the same time, the show's recording was temporarily halted while they checked the voting machines. The production team informed Jiang Luo and the others to rest for an hour. The mentor sat in the small conference room drinking tea. The mentor said, Luo Xiao, Jiang Luo is, so far, the most outstanding vocalist among all the trainees, no less than the heavenly superstar you once coached. Aren't you someone who cherishes talent? Not giving him a single point is too much. Indoor lighting outlined Luo Xiaochen's handsome face. He looked like a deity stepped out of an oil painting. Suffused with an indescribable charm, perfectly excessive. Luo Xiao lifted his eyelids. He deliberately sang a wrong note, and you didn't notice. He is a perfectionist. An accidental wrong note can be forgiven, a deliberate one should be punished. Thinking of Jiang Luo shining on stage, pretty and slender, like a leopard trying hard to disguise itself as a little kitten, awkwardly cute, Luo Xiaochen's mouth curved into a smile. Damn! You smiled, young Master Luo, you smiled. Another mentor, who had seen the impossible scene, was completely stunned. At that moment, Jiang Ci's assistant walked in. Mentors, Mr. Jiang is asking you to come over. The four mentors walked to Jiang Luo's office and heard Jiang Ci scolding an employee. The ones being scolded were the data team. Mr. Jiang, we carefully checked every voting device and none of them had problems. Perhaps it's Jiang Luo's talent that left all the students in awe. They're all hot-blooded youths. It's understandable they'd pick who they like. Jiang Luo's singing is indeed very charming, like the siren of the sea, very pleasant to hear. I suggest you listen to a live performance too, you'll surely fall in love with it. Jiang Ci cut them off with a sullen face. Did I ask you to praise him? Are you audience members or staff? I said the voting devices are faulty, can't you understand? Everyone looked at one another. Can't understand. Amid everyone's bewilderment, a voice spoke up to point the way. General Jiang said the voting device was fine, and also flawed. Oh, I get it. The staffer beamed and said, he'll tell the host that the voting device malfunctioned, that the vote counting for Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai had issues, and that their scores won't count. Clap 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 clap. Luo Xiaochen applauded. General Jiang, is this the fair and impartial competition you promised? Jiang Ci turned to look at Luo Xiaochen and the four mentors, his expression as dark as water. And tiredly told everyone, you all go down, don't do anything, the show continues recording. Right. Jiang Ci paused, then asked, how many points do Jiang Luo and Xiao Bai have? The staff member looked troubled, 180 to 90, a twofold difference. A buzzing filled Jiang Ci's ears. Damn. Jiang Ci had expected a big gap, but not one this large. He sat on the sofa, exhausted, and questioned the mentors other than Luo Xiao, may I ask you, what is going on? Mentors aren't employees, if Xiaobai reaches the finals, their scores will still be very important to Su Yuanbai. One mentor said, "It's just a ranking match. I think we should suppress him first and then let him shine later, showing the audience Su Yuanbai's growth will make a deeper impression." The other mentors responded in agreement. Chapter 14 Debuting in the Center Position 13. The talent show had a script. Trainees without backing could not debut unless their popularity was extraordinary. But if they could ride a wave of traffic, they could still count as having entered the entertainment industry. Hearing the explanation made Jiang Si's head throb. He waved his hand to send them away. Only Luo Xiaochen and Jiang Xi remained in the conference room. "You can try to prop anyone up you want." Luo Xiaochen's blade-sharp brows fixed on Jiang Xi. There were too many behind-the-scenes manipulations in the previous seasons of The Birth of an Idol, which turned the audience against it. "I came to make the show as fair as possible. Jiang Xi, consider this a warning, don't play with fire. Playing with fire will burn you." The bland voice carried an irresistible forcefulness. Jiang Si's head ached as if it would split, an invisible pressure crashed onto his shoulders, leaving him mentally and physically exhausted. "Fine, Luo Xiao, I know what to do." Luo Xiaochen, not knowing why he was targeting Jiang Luo, sent a message to have someone investigate their grudge. After sending everyone off, Jiang Xi hurriedly called the various management agencies to find out what was going on. Everyone at the agencies spoke in unison. No one had received a message from Director Jiang. Jiang Si's expression looked as if he'd seen a ghost. Before filming began, he had specifically told his assistant to get in touch. The assistant had called each agency in his presence, and he had heard the promises with his own ears. How could this happen? Which part exactly went wrong? The program restarted recording, and everyone's rankings were all finalized. The trainees' votes now had no effect. Jiang Xi stared fixedly at the video transmitted from the scene. The host announced the debut stage rankings with great fervor. The current highest score went to Jiang Luo, 180 points, the highest in the venue. Jiang Luo stood squarely in the center, winked provocatively at Jiang Xi, who was watching the video. Bang! Jiang Xi, furious, grabbed a stool and smashed the display screen to pieces. After the rankings, it was time to choose dorms and songs. Jiang Luo chose a two-person room, and when he returned, his roommate turned out to be Su Yuanbai. Jiang Luo smiled and greeted him. "What a coincidence. There are cameras in the trainees' dormitory that keep filming until 10 at night. The purpose is to show viewers the trainees' daily lives so they can feel a sense of progress. Besides that, choosing songs and forming teams are also indispensable filming scenes. It's also when the battles are the fiercest." With his makeup removed, Su Yuanbai's face was swollen and puffy. He slammed his luggage onto the floor, took off his coat to reveal solid muscles and a roguish nature, and said, "Pack your things and get out. The spot by the window is mine." Jiang Luo had the system rotate the camera lens, grinning maliciously. "First come, first served, being a Class A trainee. I have no obligation to give up my bunk for someone from Class F." Su Yuanbai thought of Jiang Xi staying out all night because of Jiang Luo, and of how utterly he had lost on stage. Old and new grudges surged up. He became a swift leopard, his iron fist driving straight for Jiang Luo's face. "Refusing a toast only to force one. Jiang Luo, I've put up with you long enough. If I don't beat you until you cry for your mother, then it'll be damned." Jiang Luo's eyes narrowed dangerously. He lifted his foot and kicked Su Yuanbai hard in the chest. Bang! Su Yuanbai felt as if his chest had exploded, pain spreading numbness through his whole body. "Bastard, it'll kill you." A smile curved at the corner of Jiang Luo's mouth, bitterly mocking. He flipped his hand and grabbed Su Yuanbai's hand. The iron fist of justice aimed squarely at Su Yuanbai's chest, abdomen, and inner thighs. Then he suddenly lifted his foot and ruthlessly kicked his testicles, delivering a sterilizing kick. A hissing pain. The deafening sound drew all the trainees to their room. Everyone inside rushed to grab Su Yuanbai, who was lifting a chair to smash someone, and the bewildered Jiang Luo. Luo Xiao, summoned by the commotion, had a stern expression. What happened? Su Yuanbai accused first like a villain. Jiang Luo was the one who struck first. Luo Xiao looked at the dazed, helpless Jiang Luo and pulled up the surveillance footage. Because the camera was improperly placed. Everyone heard it. Su Yuanbai was the first to provoke, and the others felt 3 parts disgust toward him. Su Yuanbai, seized by a sudden panic, coughed up blood and fainted. Chapter 15 Debuting in the C Position 14. Students fighting can have minor or major consequences. According to regulations, the fine is 10,000. As the victim, Jiang Luo was given a room change by the production team. Everyone worked hard tonight. Go rest. I'm fine. The tired staff were deeply moved. After confirming he wouldn't change rooms, they all said that if there were any problems, he must tell them. That face, which wasn't particularly pretty, became extraordinarily beautiful in their eyes. The kindness buff making people more beautiful is real. Luo Xiao's eyes, black as ink, looked at Jiang Luo, the corner of his mouth lifting slightly. After the staff left, he asked with significance, "Lolo, are you really the victim?" The young man's pink lips curled into a cold, indifferent smile. Luo Xiao can guess. In the other room, where Jiang Luo had been beating someone unilaterally, Su Yuanbai was being mistaken for the abuser. Snapped, "I am now," immediately, at once demanding a room change. No matter how the staff explained that there were no more double rooms with private bathrooms. Su Yuanbai ignored them all. "Director. There's only one big dormitory for 20 people, either you change it or you're out." The director spoke, and Su Yuanbai was furious, his chest burning, but he was helpless. He slammed the door violently and shouted, "You want me to sleep in the big dormitory? Get lost." Bang. Because he used too much force. The glass door rebounded back. The staff passing by saw this and angrily said, "Some people have the face of an angel but a vicious heart. The victim is suffering over there while the abuser struts around us. TSK. Jiang Luo sings really well." Su Yuanbai was off-key so many times, and it was him who pulled things back each time, otherwise the performance would have been unwatchable. The founder rewarding with food must be referring to Jiang Luo. Actually, he's just a bit dark-skinned, his complexion isn't that great, but his features are delicate and sculpted, could definitely debut. He should debut as the position. Hearing about someone isn't as good as meeting them. Luo Xiao was right, he wasn't worthy. The staff's words once again ignited Su Yuanbai's anger. He called Jiang Ci with a sullen face. "Jiang Ci. What's up, Xiao Bai? Keep an eye on your little lover." The thought of Jiang Luo made Su Yuanbai's groin ache. His sword-like brows knit. "It's you're giving him the nerve to provoke me, to kick me away from what gives you happiness. You've had enough." Who would have thought? The seemingly pretty and soft Su Yuanbai is the top. The domineering CEO Jiang Ci is the bottom. Are you okay? One mishap after another kept Jiang Ci extremely busy. When he received Su Yuanbai's call and heard his sour tone, he thought he was jealous. "Xiao Bai, Jiang Luo is my brother." Despite this younger brother's hostile arrival, DNA can't be deceived. Heh, a sentimental younger brother. Madness flickered in Su Yuanbai's eyes. He licked the blood-red corner of his mouth, twirled a folding knife he had somehow produced, his Adam's apple bobbing. "Jiang Ci Gij. Don't push me. Push me too far, and he will kill." Su Yuanbai's parents had long since fled abroad years ago because of debts. Jiang Ci stayed with him through the hardest days. She was his light, and to keep that light from fading he schemed to hold it in his grasp. And at the most opportune moment he took her. Light cannot be captured. Jiang Ci met with women again and again, and went on dates with different men time after time. Su Yuanbai was crazed with jealousy. Anyone who got close to Jiang Ci would meet a grim fate. Hearing the familiar threatening words, Jiang Si's bad mood for the day vanished in an instant. Xiao Bai, my relationship with Jiang Luo really isn't what you think. Get lost. Damn it, I don't want to hear your excuses. You always use the same set of lines when you cheat. Su Yuanbai smashed her phone in fury, her pretty, soft, cute face turned grotesque and terrifying. All of you get out. He must have made Jiang Luo wish he were dead. Chapter 16 Debut in the C Position 15. Father, Su Yuanbai looked so angry. Jean Tuan sat on Jiang Luo's shoulder rolling about, its round body bobbing, looking adorably clumsy. Jiang Luo's pretty mouth curled into a contemptuous smile, a wicked emotion surging in his eyes. He communicated with Jean Tuan using his spiritual sense. Why isn't he crying? Jean Tuan widened his dark-ringed eyes. He hadn't read much, staring at Jiang Luo in a daze and asking in a babyish voice, why is that? Jiang Luo grinned wickedly. Obviously because you didn't try hard enough. You must constantly reflect. Zai Zai has already tried, who? To prove he was useful, Jin Ruan stuck out his round belly. Zai Zai had blocked Jiang Ci, that big villain, from the contact lists of various agencies, playing many roles as one bear to support the entire entertainment industry. Jiang Luo's eyebrows curved, and he kept trying. He was already good-looking. When he smiled he seemed gentle and harmless, like a kitten stretching a personification of warmth and sunshine. The staff in the surveillance room happened to see this scene, and their weary hearts were instantly healed. The segment about trainees' daily lives is also a very important part of Idol Producer. 100 boys looking glamorous in front of the camera is all an illusion. The audience has grown tired of illusions. They prefer to see the behind-the-scenes, especially the trainees' meals, daily life, and training routines. Watching the results of their hard work gives them a sense of gratification. Just like most boys' dormitories. Once the trainees had confirmed their rooms, they relaxed. Socializing, rummaging through boxes to put away clothes, shoes, socks, the clothes flying everywhere made the whole dormitory look extremely messy and shabby. Those with experience would add cute captions to cleverly diffuse the awkwardness, turning the messiness into an earnest, unaffected charm. There were many people on the show's editing team. It was really trouble to hunt down the post-editing footage one by one. They usually picked a model dorm, a chaotic dorm, or a dorm with enough buzz to include in the show to add interest. The staff were nearly blind from staring. They finally found Jiang Luo's double room. Clean and tidy, not a speck of dust. Bang! A loud noise came from the video. Everyone hurried over to take a look. Su Yuanbai is back. Because the two of them fought, the double room became a focal point. Su Yuanbai kicked the door open in a rage, threw his coat on the floor, kicked his smelly shoes about, and stalked into the bathroom with his hair all messy. Sigh. This guy has such a sunny, cute face, but such a violent temper. Jiang Luo may not be very handsome, but he so gently even helped Su Yuanbai pack his clothes without holding a grudge. So kind. Damn. Su Yuanbai went too far, silently threw Jiang Luo's toiletries into the trash. What a trashy character. Internet celebrities are internet celebrities, they're not fit for the stage. The staff who saw this scene felt sorry for Jiang Luo having to clean up after Su Yuanbai. Su Yuanbai sang a song that went viral online and his filter shattered into pieces. Inside the room, Jiang Luo casually packed his things, leisurely picking the toiletry items out of the trash can, sorting them into the respective bins, then went to buy new ones. When he returned, it was already 10 at night, the camera had been turned off, and Su Yuanbai had fallen asleep from exhaustion. The double room was pitch dark. Jiang Luo threw back the covers, and a strong, foul smell hit him in the face, the choking stench making him nauseous. He turned on the bedside lamp. Staring at the socks that weren't his, he put on gloves, took the socks to the bathroom, and scrubbed the toilet with them. Only when they were smeared with a suspicious substance, drawn into a thin line, did the corner of his mouth lift slightly. Chapter 17 Debut in the C Position 16. Jiang Luo walked calmly to Su Yuanbai's bedside. He somehow found 2 ropes and, with practiced ease, bound Su Yuanbai's hands and feet. Su Yuanbai. Jiang Luo turned on the light and looked down from above at the man who couldn't open his eyes because of the glare. Awake? Jiang Luo stood against the light. The pitch-black shadow, like a demon crawling up from hell, enveloped Su Yuanbai in its gloom. Eerie and terrifying. Su Yuanbai blinked drowsily, opened his eyes, and looked at that smiling face. A chill shot from the soles of his feet to his scalp, his pupils constricted sharply as he snarled, "Damn it, not sleeping at night and looking for a beating? Fighting with Jiang Luo during the day." Su Yuanbai, who had been beaten by Jiang Luo, understood clearly how powerful this seemingly weak man was in combat. He felt a chill, as his body recoiled, he realized something was wrong. His hands and feet had been bound. What do you want to do?" Su Yuanbai bared his teeth and grimaced, furious like a wild beast. "Jiang Luo, you dare pick a fight with me after sleeping with Jiang Ci? You son of a bitch, damn it." Thinking of the gentle tone Jiang Xia used when calling Jiang Luo little brother, Su Yuanbai's eyes reddened, he looked as if he were about to go mad. Jealous to madness. Jiang Luo smiled as his heavy fist landed squarely on Su Yuanbai's abdomen. "Ah!" Bound hand and foot, Su Yuanbai cried out in pain, veins bulging on his forehead. Jiang Luo took the opportunity to shove the drug-soaked smelly sock into his mouth. His gentle voice was ice-cold as he said, "From tonight on, you will sleep every night with that stinky sock in your mouth. Miss one night, and they'll cut off one of your fingers." He drew out a sharp dagger and gently sliced the tip of Su Yuanbai's little finger. In an instant, fresh blood gushed from the pale bone, staining the bedsheet red. "Wah!" Su Yuanbai's face went pale, his body trembling violently, and his vision blurred. He stifled the pain, the hand over his mouth allowing only a pitiful whimper to escape. "Madman, madman. Jiang Luo is a madman. I know you hate cleanliness, so I cleaned the toilet with your socks. Enjoy the pleasure of eating shit." Jiang Luo picked up the dagger soaked in fresh blood, his soft pink tongue gave a lick, as if a terminally ill patient finally got a placebo, his eyes were full of excitement. The blood was filthy and stinky. Seeing this, Su Yuanbai widened his eyes. Anger and disgust welled up in his throat, and he let out a queasy retch. Because his mouth was gagged, his neck had turned flushed from holding his breath, seeming as if he might suffocate at any moment. "Tsk tsk tsk." Jiang Luo shook his head with a smile. "Disgusted? Gagging? The more saliva you produce, the more shit you swallow. Then again, what's the difference? It's all your own stuff, isn't it?" Su Yuanbai's eyes were bloodshot. His body curled like a shrimp, his hateful gaze fixed intently on Jiang Luo, then he suddenly kicked off and, like a cannonball, lunged toward him. Jiang Luo smiled and held the dagger against his chest, taunting like calling a dog, come on, if you're not afraid to die then come here." Su Yuanbai twisted sharply and slammed heavily onto the ground. The humiliation of being toyed with so easily trampled Su Yuanbai's pride, shame surging up, making him furious. Jiang Luo put a foot on his face. "Today I taught you what respect means. I hope you'll behave, otherwise, tomorrow I'll just continue your training." Su Yuanbai roared in his heart, "Get lost. Remember what I said. If tomorrow night you don't voluntarily fall asleep holding the stinky sock in your mouth, I'll cut off your finger." Jiang Luo rattled the dagger in his hand. Snap! The dagger pierced through Su Yuanbai's hand, through flesh and blood, and fell to the ground. Chapter 18 Debut in the C Position 17. "Devil, devil." Jiang Luo's charming voice was like the devil's whisper, seemingly gentle, but actually chilling to the bone. Rage churned in his chest, Su Yuanbai's furious face twisted into that of an enraged lion. The lion met Jiang Luo's ice-crushed eyes. Frozen to death. Tossed and turned for so long I'm exhausted. Jiang Luo withdrew the dagger and yawned tiredly, his long lashes fluttered, casting a cold shadow at the base of his eyes. He smiled gently. Good night. Su Yuanbai, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, go to hell, good night. I've been busy these past few days. When Jiang Luo went out to buy something, he took the opportunity to hold a meeting with his subordinate staff. Those who get into the Jiang group are by no means ordinary people. The Jiang group originally started in the energy sector. In recent years the empire's entertainment industry has flourished, with countless hot money and quick capital flooding into show business. Jiang Ci then shifted all his work focus to the entertainment industry. Meanwhile the energy division, because of development costs and pollution issues, gradually became unprofitable and turned into a burden for the group. Jiang Ci intentionally aimed to transform the group into a top-tier talent agency in the entertainment world, completely divesting and abandoning the energy business. Once the world's richest man, Jiang Luo was well aware of the limitations of the entertainment industry, and he also knew the stability of the real economy. So he took over the projects the company had abandoned and redrafted the plans. With the help of the Gold Group, Jiang Luo knew exactly what the International Energy Group needed. That's why the plan he made left all his subordinates dumbfounded. The subordinate team had very strong execution. In just one day, the energy department secured a sky-high project. The marketplace is like a battlefield. Company executives and shareholders are not there to do charity, they support whoever brings them profits. Soon, the entire Jiang group would welcome their new owner. Su Yuanbai spent the whole night rubbing the rope until the cord binding his wrists wore away. He quickly untied the rope at his feet, looked at his swollen, scabbed little finger, grabbed the dorm stool and strode angrily to Jiang Luo's bed. A night's worth of humiliation was like a whip, furiously lashing at Su Yuanbai's pride. If Jiang Luo doesn't die, it'd be hard for him to live. Jiang Luo, go die. Su Yuanbai raised the stool to smash down, but suddenly heard the door open. Several students and staff stared at him in shock. Su Yuanbai. Jiang Luo rubbed his eyes, looking bewildered. Wow, your wake-up service is so special, thank you, I'm awake. When the people who heard Su Yuanbai was going to kill someone looked at Jiang Luo, they hurried into the room and pulled him behind them, still shaken. Luo, Su Yuanbai is going to kill you. No way. Jiang Luo helplessly scratched his head, suddenly realizing, oh, are you upset about Su Yuanbai wanting to beat me yesterday? It's nothing, all a misunderstanding after all. With such a gap, a psychological imbalance is indeed hard to accept. We've already made up. Jiang Luo of course knew Su Yuanbai would love to kill him. When Su Yuanbai woke up, he had already woken up earlier. Not only did he wake up, but he also had Jin Tuan repair Su Yuanbai's wounds. Everything was seamless. After his reminder, everyone couldn't help but think of the gap between Su Yuanbai and Jiang Luo. A world of difference. Whether in singing or character. The gentle, kind boy instantly captured everyone's hearts. They felt sorry for his innocence and grew ever more resentful of Su Yuanbai's encroaching arrogance. How could there be someone like Su Yuanbai in the world who looks sunny and cute but is actually venomous at heart? I'm not mentally unbalanced. Su Yuanbai's face went ashen. He threw down the stool, reached out his injured hand. Jiang Luo is the madman who tied me up all night and slashed me with a knife. The show's recording took place in the tropics. Everyone dressed lightly. They looked at his fair, clean hands and sneered, yes, you're not mentally unbalanced, you might be crazy. Su Yuanbai said sharply, his face severe, are you blind? Can't you see? He looked at his intact hand. And his angry words came to an abrupt halt. Chapter 19 debuting in the C position 18. Why are there no wounds or marks? Impossible. Su Yuanbai glared angrily. He looked up at the camera in the room. I want to see the surveillance footage. The surveillance can prove his innocence. Jiang Luo is a lunatic, a pervert. If you want to watch, then watch. Jiang Luo walked into the bathroom to wash up, but please don't make a big fuss, it's morning, and it's very impolite to disturb others' rest. He went to the bathroom and took out a pink set of toiletries. The toothbrush was actually in the shape of a cute rabbit, causing everyone to exclaim how adorable it was. When they woke up, the staff found that Jiang Luo was getting more and more handsome. But Su Yuanbai, who insisted on wearing makeup to film his debut stage, had a face swollen beyond recognition. The wound cut by the stage lights began to get infected under the effect of the cosmetics, making his whole face look ghastly and terrifying. The staff were taken aback. After washing up, Su Yuanbai marched into the monitoring room with a sullen face. Luo Luo, have you eaten? A staff member handed him milk and eggs. Eat this nutritious and healthy, good for your skin. Jiang Luo took the breakfast, smiled in the sunshine, and said, thank you. Su Yuanbai sneered contemptuously. After watching the surveillance footage, he personally tore apart this madman's disguise. Let's see if these people can still laugh. Su Yuanbai and Jiang Xi have a special relationship. The people in the control room had also been warned by the company's higher-ups, if Su Yuanbai wants to see the footage, show it to him. Su Yuanbai sat in the chair like a lord, hands on his knees. With a flick of his eyelids he pulled up last night's video. I want to see it. His lofty tone made the staff uncomfortable, but they had no choice and opened the surveillance. The last shot showed Jiang Luo leaving the room. And then it ended. That's it. Su Yuanbai flew into a rage when he saw no follow-up. The staff member said, the cameras in the dormitories are to record the students' progress, not to invade their privacy. The cameras shut off at 10 o'clock at night. Everyone was briefed before entering the dorms. Su Yuanbai didn't believe it. How come I never heard of that rule? You were in the hospital when the host announced the rules. Jiang Luo took out his phone. I sent you a copy yesterday. The deadline is 7 o'clock in the evening. She didn't bother to read the rules, stirred up trouble first thing in the morning. How disgusting. Is Su Yuanbai treating the birth of an idol as a makeover story for a second-generation rich kid? Lolo is truly kind, always thinking of Su Yuanbai, and in the end gets bitten back. What an ungrateful wretch. The murmurs of the staff made Su Yuanbai's face swell to the color of pig liver. Everything was beyond his control. Su Yuanbai stared at the surveillance footage and shouted, what was he doing out in the middle of the night? What could he be doing? The staff member in charge of monitoring barked. Jiang Luo's toiletries were thrown into the trash by you, he had to go out and buy them himself. Luo called us late at night, asking us to watch his route. If he didn't show up within an hour, we were to call the police. The place where we're recording isn't in the city center. It's 10 at night, the nearby supermarkets are all closed. Only a 24-hour convenience store 5 kilometers away has anything to buy. Lolo rode his bike alone to buy toiletries. It was so dark, was walking alone at night. Su Yuanbai, have some conscience. Luo is kind and has been tolerant of you time and again. Don't push your luck. The staff really couldn't watch any longer. Most of the trainees who came to the audition are children from wealthy families, they have connections and resources. Or they have the backing of a big company. Only Jiang Luo's resume listed him as an orphan, coming out of a mountain village, an orphan without any background. This was common knowledge. Sympathy made people take the side of the weak and the kind. Su Yuanbai's actions these past 2 days personally shattered everyone's rosy illusions about him. No wonder Luoyuo's toothbrush was different from others, so that's why. In an instant, Su Yuanbai became the target of everyone's ire. His face looked extremely sullen. Chapter 20 Debut as C Position 19. Early in the morning, why is everyone gathered here? A cold voice came from behind. Everyone turned to look at the newcomer and greeted, "Luo Xiao, good morning." The man's tall, sharp features were like a knife, his deep-set eyes were dark as lacquer. And his well-defined face carried a hint of sternness. His nose was prominent, his lips of moderate thickness pressed into a line, and his whole demeanor was cold, radiating an intimidating pressure from the inside out that made one's heart race. Today Luo Xiaochen wore a casual outfit, a white shirt paired with coffee-colored casual trousers. His carefully arranged attire made him look several years younger. He held a cup of coffee in his hands, his keen gaze fixed on Su Yuanbai. A troublemaker? Su Yuanbai felt as if a sharp blade hung over his neck, his throat tightened, and the rebelliousness in his bones was crushed down completely. No. Jiang Luo didn't do it on purpose. Su Yuanbai said nervously, "Jiang Luo and I had a bit of a misunderstanding, I came here to clear his name." Luo Xiaochen's background was astonishing, no one could provoke him, and no one dared. Turning black into white made everyone sick. Luo Xiaochen sat elegantly in his chair, his long legs crossed. He looked up at Jiang Luo and said, "You tell me." Jiang Luo bit his lower lip with a face full of grievance, saying it was nothing, all a misunderstanding. Those who knew the truth felt pain for Jiang Luo's kindness. What has happened to this world? Kind people are being bullied. A villain can still turn around and bite back. Since everything's settled, go do your own thing. Luo Xiaochen stood up and said to Jiang Luo, "Come with me." The little fox's disguise could fool others, but not him. Su Yuanbai, that fool, besides a presentable face and his self-claimed talent, is an empty-headed straw sack. The Su family was buried in debt, without Jiang Si's help, could he still be swaggering around here? He would have long ago been sent by the creditors to dig coal or become a male escort. From the moment he first saw Jiang Luo, Luo Xiaochen knew he was by no means an ordinary, unremarkable person. The ambition in the young man's eyes looked like it could set the whole building on fire. These past few days Luo Xiaochen heard that the old head of the Jiang family suddenly transferred the shares he had intended to give to Jiang Xi to a stranger. His intuition told Luo Xiaochen there was more to the story. Only after investigating did he find out that Jiang Luo was actually the second son of the Jiang group who had gone missing. Now the second son had returned. He returned with his ambitions. Jiang Luo followed behind Luo Xiaochen in an unhurried, measured way. He wasn't short 1.83 meters. But standing next to Luo Xiao, he suddenly seemed a head shorter. Why grow that tall for no reason? As they walked, Jiang Luo realized they had come to the practice room. Different from the dance studio. This place was relatively small, and the soundproofing was excellent. Luo Xiaochen set the cup down. His long fingers unbuttoning his shirt to reveal a sexy collarbone. "Come on." Jiang Luo tilted his head, smiling with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "You wouldn't be trying to seduce me, would you?" Luo Xiaochen had sword-like brows and bright eyes, broad shoulders and a narrow waist, long straight legs, his arms were muscular, and if provoked his explosive power would be astonishing. Gotta say, he really was exactly the type Jiang Luo liked. Good-looking, talented, and wealthy. But when Jiang Luo saw him for the first time, she felt he was a dangerous man. Extremely dangerous, on par with the Immortal Path Alliance, perhaps even stronger. The young man wore a thin t-shirt, narrow waist and perky hips. When he smiled his brows and eyes radiated an indescribable charm. Those half-smiling peach blossom eyes hooked right into people's hearts, making Luo Xiaochen's heart itch. Luo Xiaochen's mouth curved and he stepped in front of the young man, one long, fair hand pressing against the small of his back, the other resting on his flat yet remarkably taut lower abdomen. Chapter 21 Debuting in the C position 20. Warm breath sprayed against Jiang Luo's sensitive neck and ear. The heat from his waist and abdomen made him shiver uncontrollably, his pale cheeks flushed a deep red. That flash of vivid color finally settled on the moist, full lips, crimson like blood, like a ripe cherry, making one unable to resist a kiss. Sensitive little thing. Luo Xiaochen chuckled happily, your qi is insufficient, now I'll lift you up, your center of gravity will shift downwards, then open your throat, don't stop, let me hear how long you can cry out. It was clearly ordinary qi cultivation. When it came out of Luo Xiaochen's mouth, it sounded like he was testing how long Jiang Luo could last in bed, teasing and seductive, making people's minds wander. Don't underestimate me. Jiang Luo calmed his racing heart, 2 minutes. No stopping for breath. Saying that, Jiang Luo began to sing. The young man's waist was slender, trembling slightly from singing while suspended in midair. Luo Xiaochen held him up easily, feeling the vibration of his breath in his palm and judging his potential by the contraction of his lower abdominal muscles. Singing requires extraordinary lung capacity. The better the lung capacity, the more stable the breath, high notes won't cut out, and low notes won't be inaudible. Especially for boy bands who sing and dance at the same time, a strong physique and lung capacity are even more necessary. This was a breathing exercise method Luo Xiaochen had devised himself. But lifting someone by hand was still a first. 2 minutes later, Jiang Luo, out of breath, was leaning on Luo Xiaochen's shoulder, giving a sly smile, so, Teacher Luo. Luo Xiaochen nodded, a double entendre indeed. Who knew whether he meant the waist was fine? Or the lungs were fine? Jiang Luo didn't pay it any mind. He jumped down from Luo Xiaochen, savored the chest muscles he had felt in his mind, and asked, Luo Xiao, you didn't call me alone just to test my lung capacity, did you? I'm a straight shooter, I like people to speak plainly. I'm a vocal coach, testing trainees is part of the job. There's a notebook in the singing practice room, and Luo Xiaochen is doodling on it. Your breath is sustained but lacks power, so when you pick a song later I suggest you choose a high-note ballad. In a team competition, getting a ballad is a death sentence. Whether you sing well or not, there's no passion, you can't move the audience's emotions. Given your vocal conditions, it's better to choose a song with a strong rhythmic feel. Luo Xiaochen paused mid-pen stroke. A clever person without connections will always choose to highlight their strengths. This isn't hiding one's weaknesses, it's showing off. At these words, a flicker of light passed through Jiang Luo's eyes. He licked his reddened lips. Why is Luo Xiao helping me? I don't like the music scene being occupied by people I dislike. Luo Xiaochen's arrogant brows lifted, his deep eyes swept over the boy's face, both innocent and seductive, and he said with pleasure, I like talented people entering the music industry, especially you. From the day he joined TL Entertainment and first saw Jiang Luo's audition video, Luo Xiaochen paid particular attention to this boy who looked plain and unsophisticated. Jiang Luo was an uncut, peerless jade standing at the pinnacle of the music world as a godfather of music. Luo Xiaochen was a sculptor. He had traveled the length and breadth of the country and around the globe, and at last found a raw jade that shone even without polishing. How could he give it up? How could he possibly give it up? He was determined to sculpt this perfect work of art with his own hands. Stroke by stroke she traced out the muse in his heart. Jiang Luo, Jiang Luo, Jiang Luo. Young Master Luo, don't say you like me so casually. Jiang Luo smiled faintly, eyes filled with a sick possessiveness, being fickle and timing those words deserve death, you know. Chapter 22 Debut in the C Position 21. A man's desire and sensations arrive fast and blunt. Luo Xiaochen tossed away his pen and strode over to the youth, long hands sweeping around to clamp tightly at the slender waist, then dominantly sealed the rosy, delicate lips with his own. Lips and teeth intertwined, an assault and a plunder. Jiang Luo turned the tables, his soft, unrelenting 3-inch tongue entangling with his. Where the two of them met, ambiguous wet light trickled down. Luo Xiao. Jiang Luo bit Luo Xiaochen hard, looked at the blood seeping from his lips, kissed him. Licked it clean, careful not to get killed. Luo Xiaochen bowed his head and deepened the kiss. To die together, does that count as murder? Jiang Luo laughed heartily, her slender fingers climbing to Luo Xiao's sensual Adam's apple, then she stood on tiptoe and gave him a kiss. Luo Xiao, you must live a very long life. For the first public performance, the production arranged for over 500 audience members to attend. The ticket holders were the top 500 spenders who had recharged for the birth of an idol. Only one day had passed since the first performance, and the production and post-production teams were working around the clock to make the videos. The camera crew, meanwhile, followed the students' everyday lives without leaving their sides. The most important task was choosing songs. As the strongest contestant in terms of ability, Jiang Luo had the priority to choose 15 songs, each with a different style. From fast songs and slow songs to rap. Some are passionate as fire, some like a small bridge over flowing water. Class A has 7 people in total. Among the 15 songs there is one that everyone wants to pick. Love That Never Sleeps suits the vocal perfectly and is the piece that best highlights individual style. I'm Jiang Luo, so I'll definitely choose this one. All 7 people have their eyes on the song I've been practicing for 3 months, I definitely don't stand a chance. I want it so badly, iwuwu. According to the rules, the student with the highest score gets first pick of the song. The students' burning gazes fell on Jiang Luo. Ha, I didn't expect a situation where all the students from Class 7A chose the same song. The host smiled and looked at Jiang Luo. Jiang Luo, please choose your piece. The camera zoomed in on Jiang Luo. Yesterday he was dressed plainly and didn't look like much. Today most of the students appeared on camera without makeup, and without yesterday's glamorous contrast. Jiang Luo was unexpectedly good-looking. Since everyone likes this song, he'll give everyone the chance. Jiang Luo shrugged, you pick first. The host was momentarily stunned. Jiang Luo, there's only one chance. If you miss it, you'll have to pick with Class F. Are you sure? The Class F trainees' debut performances were nothing short of a nightmare. Of course, there were also a few who had originally been in Class A but were later surpassed in points by other trainees and were knocked down. The smile at Jiang Luo's mouth gradually faded, and he said with difficulty, I'm certain. His expression made everyone present feel regretful and helpless. They all unwittingly concluded that Jiang Luo had been warned by someone. People without backing or connections are truly pitiful. The one in the room with Jiang Luo was Su Yuanbai. He must have done something to her that night. You guys don't know, do you? Su Yuanbai is a rich second generation. Think about why he hit Luo Luo yesterday with your head, really think about it. Su Yuanbai's character is despicable. How dare someone like him come to an idol show? Before I joined the program I'd heard his songs and thought he was a capable, reliable, responsible internet celebrity. Turns out it was all an act. Su Yuanbai, inexplicably taking the blame, gave a sullen, wry smile. Tonight he wants everyone to see Jiang Luo's true face. Chapter 23 Debut at Center 22. The song selection ended. Jiang Luo theatrically paired up with Su Yuanbai for a group, singing a slow song. Su Yuanbai's persona is top-notch in singing and dancing, his appearance is soft, cute, and obedient, but when he sings his domineering, conceited strength comes through. Without others' consent, he arranges at will the lyrics each person will sing. Because Jiang Luo completely beat him on the first stage. Su Yuanbai forcefully assigned Jiang Luo the rap parts he was bad at. This left the team members full of complaints. What a piece of trash, acting like he's the captain. A trainee couldn't stop complaining, Luo Luo, you're the captain. Jiang Luo comforted him, the most important thing for a team is unity. We're in the adjustment period, take it slow. His voice was like a gentle spring breeze blowing into everyone's hearts, soothing the team members' irritable moods. As captain, Jiang Luo dutifully smoothed over conflicts, making sure everyone had standout moments to showcase. Even so, they still stumbled while practicing the song. Jiang Luo frowned, Su Yuanbai, your part is too high in this section, the members can't keep up. Is it the members who can't keep up or you? Snapping back from his seat position, Su Yuanbai shot, "Captain, mind your own business. Each person sweeps the snow from their own doorstep, don't fuss over others' roofs. Don't meddle in my affairs." The team members were in agony, and in the end they were too lazy to bother with him. Ignored by everyone, Su Yuanbai practiced his part alone with no one to appreciate it, feeling bored and irritated. Looking again at Jiang Luo, surrounded by all the team members in the center, he felt indignant. He had already grabbed the center position, so why was everyone siding with Jiang Luo? Endure for a moment and the winds and waves calm, take a step back and you get angrier the more you think about it. Su Yuanbai simply stopped practicing and went back to the dorm. Bang! The training room door slammed loudly as Su Yuanbai threw it open. The trainees were indifferent, helping one another, not caring at all about the mule having a tantrum. When Jiang Luo used to do missions, he had been an actor and a singer, uniquely talented in singing. But he had never tried rap before. That night Jiang Luo returned to the dorm, finished washing up. And suddenly received a friend request. It was from Luo Xiao. He passed quickly. The old man got straight to the point and asked, "Why choose rap?" Jiang Luo, "Couldn't beat them sigh." Luo Xiaochen, "How pitiful teasing." 100 Su Yuanbai couldn't beat his little fox. Couldn't beat him. Nonsense. Jiang Luo, "Please give me a hug." Luo Xiaochen's mouth curved, "Tomorrow morning at 6, you'll get your fill." Jiang Luo smiled brightly, slender fingers sliding. "Old man, no fun." After a moment, a long string of messages blew up in WeChat. Name, Luo Xiaochen. Age, 28. Height, 192 centimeters 24 centimeters. Educational background, doctoral supervisor at Berklee College of Music, lifetime honorary chairman of the Grammys, judge, international. If not for seeing the bank account number and password sent by Luo Xiaochen. Jiang Luo thought Luo Xiaochen had brought the entire Baidu encyclopedia. The old man's romance dazzled Jiang Luo. "Old top, you're playing way too hard." Luo Xiaochen, "I never play around. I take everything seriously." Luo, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" Jiang Luo narrowed his eyes, the corner of his mouth lifting to the sky. "I only believe in being tempted by looks." Who says old men don't understand romance or have no sense of fun? He started off by spilling his family's wealth. Jiang Luo kissed the strikingly handsome ID photo sent by Luo Xiaochen. "Good night, arsonist of my heart. My husband is the godfather of music. Why refuse something free? Practicing oral skills with him tomorrow, rap." At 10 in the evening, after the show's production camera was turned off, a camera in an inconspicuous corner flickered with a dangerous red glow. Chapter 24 Debut in the center position 23. Su Yuanbai, "Are you asleep?" Jiang Luo's gentle voice was like a devil's call, making Su Yuanbai, curled up under the covers, break into a cold sweat. He's coming, the madman is coming. Yesterday Jiang Luo had forced him to fall asleep with his smelly socks in his mouth every night. Knowing Jiang Luo's vindictive nature, tonight he will not be spared. So Su Yuanbai prepared a pinhole camera and a sharp dagger early. No need to film too much. Just need to provoke Jiang Luo into ordering him to stuff the smelly socks into his mouth on camera. The time to hunt has come. Su Yuanbai drew a deep breath, red light of excitement flickering in his eyes. Jiang Luo threw back Su Yuanbai's quilt and looked at him with a smile. "You forgot what I said yesterday?" The gentle murmur wrapped around Su Yuanbai's neck like a cold iron strangling him. His breath hitched as terrifying memories swept through his mind, his hands trembled uncontrollably, yet his head clearly prompted Jiang Luo. "You said, from now on if I don't deliberately fall asleep holding the stinky socks in my mouth, you'll cut off one of my fingers." Not a word off. Jiang Luo's narrow, peach blossom eyes swept over the camera flashing red lights, his slender hand reached toward Su Yuanbai's pillow and stroked it, pitying, "Silly child, why go against the will of the gods? Seeing that the camera had already recorded the video, Su Yuanbai dropped his disguise to reveal bone-white fangs, defy NMB. He sprang from the bed, gripping the dagger hidden under the pillow, his fierce eyes shot out bloodthirsty cold light. Try to cut my hand. Grandpa will take off your arm first. In the darkness, a cold white flash of blade streaked past. In the blink of an eye it struck Jiang Luo's left arm. Crack. The crisp sound was especially jarring in the silent night. Su Yuanbai stared blankly at the dagger broken in two, his heart sinking halfway. A ghost. It must be a ghost. Are you looking for it? Jiang Luo shook the blood-slick dagger that could cut a throat, his sensual lips seemed soaked with blood, vivid and dazzling. He scolded. Didn't your mother tell you children aren't allowed to play with dangerous regulated knives? Jiang Luo strolled forward at a leisurely pace. Su Yuanbai's mind went blank. Thud thud thud. The heart felt like it was going to leap out of my chest. Su Yuanbai's face was as pale as paper, terrified, he shrank into the corner. Jiang Luo wore an innocent expression on his face, but his smile was wicked to the extreme. Do you know what to do? Don't kill me, don't kill me. Su Yuanbai's nerves were stretched to the limit. He leapt off the bed, found his disgusting sock, and stuffed it into his mouth. The unbearable stench made tears spring to his eyes. Wah wah wah. Jiang Luo smiled, bad children must be punished for doing wrong, so. He paused. Hand rose, blade fell. In the flash of cold light, Su Yuanbai's 5 fingers on his left hand all fell together. The dark, enclosed space and the crimson blood stimulated Su Yuanbai's sensitive nerves. Seeing the man who laughed like a madman. The taut line of his nerves snapped, let out a miserable scream and fainted. System, master, should I stop his bleeding? Jiang Luo tossed aside the filthy dagger. He hadn't suffered enough yesterday, let him lose some blood to teach him a lasting lesson, otherwise, training me every day is exhausting, especially having to train 2 people. How to make the top guy develop some taste, this matter is very important. By the way, when clearing the scene, remember to leave my one-time image imprint. I want Su Yuanbai to look like a madman in everyone's eyes, a plagiarizing madman, an annoying madman. System, Dad, you're so ruthless, ow. If you're not ruthless you won't stand firm. Jiang Luo pulled the covers back and went to sleep. Kiddo, finish tidying up and go to bed early. His ruthless attitude was like parents ordering their 3-year-old to sweep the floor and wash the dishes. As a symbiotic spirit object, the system Jintuan quietly cleaned up the aftermath for its owner. It dutifully and tirelessly erased the footage of Jiang Luo from the camera, leaving only the footage of Su Yuanbai eating smelly socks. When it was done, the panda cub Jintuan hugged its round body, climbed onto its owner's bed, and snuggled into his arms. The next day, the first thing Su Yuanbai did upon waking was check the videos on the camera. Seeing the full video, he hurried to the practice room. It's time to tear off Jiang Luo's hypocritical mask. Chapter 25, debuting in the position 24. It's time to unmask the madman Su Yuanbai. All the trainees, along with the 4 stunned mentors, watched Su Yuanbai eat his own smelly socks and stab himself with a wax knife on video, and all thought he was crazy. With a teammate like Jiang Luo so capable, good-natured, and popular, I'd be crazy too. This is fucking ridiculous. When Su Yuanbai released the videos, he kept slandering Luo, claiming Luo had tortured and killed him. He wasn't wrong, Luo completely outclassed him in both ability and character. When Su Yuanbai's mother gave birth to him, she must not have given him a brain. Good for nothing, but first place at throwing dirty water. Is Su Yuanbai the reincarnation of sauerkraut fish? Sour, bland, and completely unnecessary. Luo is so miserable. He protects Su Yuanbai so much, yet Su Yuanbai repeatedly makes things difficult for the only person who's ever been good to him. The sight of being pointed at by 1,000 people made Su Yuanbai so ashamed he wished he could die on the spot. The anger had been suppressing for a day and a night erupted like a volcano. Fake, it's all fake. Jiang Luo. Qian, how transcription. Security, security. The advisor, looking at Su Yuanbai, his mind unwell and trying to run out to fight Jiang Luo, shouted in panic, grabbed him. He's lost it, take him to a psychiatrist. Meanwhile, Jiang Luo, who had been put through intensive training by Luo Xiaochen, finally found his rhythm. Jiang Luo had been singing all morning, his mouth dry and parched. He reached for the cup beside him to take a drink. Luo Xiaochen was faster than him. Luo Xiao took a sip of water, then with a strong, powerful hand pulled him close, bent down and kissed the dried pink lips, transferring the water into Jiang Luo's mouth. In an instant, Jiang Luo's face flushed bright red. Who said old men can't flirt? Damn, he miscalculated. The old man was not only skilled at seduction, his ability to learn was also very strong. Who knew how many idol dramas Luo Xiaochen had watched that night? Luo Xiao, having tasted the flavor, fed Jiang Luo mouthful after mouthful until he was full, deep eyes flashing with a strange light. Jiang Luo's face flushed. After who knows how long, the two finally separated. Both gasping for breath. Luo Xiao. Jiang Luo blew him a flying kiss and kept cheering him on. A suspicious flush rose on Luo Xiaochen's cold, handsome face. Hell, be better next time. He hadn't slept all night, had spent the evening talking with friends experienced in relationships and concluded he needed to take the initiative. The results were good. However, thinking of Jiang Luo's skillful kissing technique, Luo Xiaochen's face instantly darkened. Although Jiang Luo had missed a great show, but the team secretly filmed the spectacle and saved a copy for him. Without Su Yuanbai's interference, the squad's training went incredibly smoothly. 3 in the afternoon. Jiang Zifeng, having learned that Su Yuanbai was having mental issues, rushed to TL Entertainment in a flurry. Su Yuanbai had been given a sedative and was already asleep. The Jiang Corporation's 600 million film investment has been stuck in approval for a long time due to review issues. A major film production, a top director, top-tier stars. Hundreds of millions in cash poured in, but the project is stuck there, neither moving forward nor back. Abandon it, and the initial 300 million investment will go down the drain. Picked up and continued, but there was no way to get it approved. Jiang Ci was busy to the point of collapse, forcibly bypassing the board to withdraw all the company's cash and put it into the project. Even so, the results tapered off and they still couldn't get the dragon seal. The script was stuck halfway. The project was halted, yet staff salaries were still paid, draining hundreds of thousands from the accounts every day. Jiang Ci could hardly hold on any longer and had to ask Jiang Luo to use the 15 stake he held to petition the board for funding. Then he heard the dreadful news that Su Yuanbai's mental state had deteriorated. Please comment Deg, Prime. Chapter 26 Debut in the C Position 25. Jiang Ci had always known Su Yuanbai had mental issues. He just hadn't expected them to relapse. Especially after the first stage broadcast of The Birth of an Idol, his mental problems resurfaced. Su Yuanbai appeared on camera with a swollen face, his lackluster performance and the huge close-ups amplified all his flaws, making viewers uncomfortable and turning him into the trainee audiences least wanted to see. In contrast, Jiang Luo. With Su Yuanbai's foil, he was low-key but capable, and, topping the leaderboard, he became the focus of everyone's attention. So plainly unglamorous. Yet he still attracted a large number of fans who admired his abilities. Jiang Luo's fans looked out of place among a bunch of beauty-focused fan groups. Online, Su Yuanbai was inundated with insults. Jiang Ci hired a large group of paid posters to suppress those comments, so Su Yuanbai wouldn't see them and get upset. Jiang Ci wearily pinched the bridge of his nose. Doctor, what is Xiao Bai's condition now? Su Yuanbai seems to have been greatly frightened, and coupled with his previous mania, his emotions are extremely unstable. My professional recommendation is that he go home and rest well. The doctor said it very tactfully. Which trainee doesn't have a lot of pressure? Having a lot of pressure doesn't mean you should take it out on someone else. Especially Jiang Luo, who had helped Su Yuanbai many times. Everyone who knew the situation felt sympathy for Jiang Luo Ming. Jiang Si's assistant explained, "Boss, Jiang Luo and Su Yuanbai live together, could it be his doing?" Jiang Luo. Jiang Si scoffed. Little Bai just not bullying him is already good, what could he possibly do to compete with Little Bai? When Jiang Si thought about the energy department getting the good project, a sense of crisis rose in his heart, but he quickly dismissed it. Jiang Luo has no background and no strength, the energy department only lets him get good projects because of his father's help. They're doing him a favor. Although Jiang Luo doesn't dare, that doesn't mean he doesn't have the intention. Jiang Si's eyes went cold as he led him into the conference room. He was going to personally give this useless younger brother a good scolding. Half an hour later, the assistant led Jiang Luo into the conference room. Lolo. Jiang Si reluctantly called his younger brother's pet name. His brother's business had run into some trouble and needed your support. Do you remember how you promised Dad back then? A few days apart, Jiang Luo had seemingly been reborn, all the rustic air was gone. Replaced by a beauty that made it impossible to look away. Yes, beautiful. Jiang Si was also quite surprised by that judgment. He blamed this on the Jiang family's good genes. Remember. Beneath Jiang Luotian's calm smile was a crazed desire for revenge. Whatever my eldest brother decides to do, I will support. Hearing this, Jiang Si's heart, which had been caught in his throat, immediately fell back into his stomach. A fool is just a fool. Before he even spoke, he had a flattering expression. No matter how much he flatters me, he still won't acknowledge Jiang Luo. The crisis at the Jiang group is all under Jiang Luo's control. He had long instructed his subordinates and old man Jiang to apply for the energy department to be spun off from the Jiang group. The group executive still didn't look favorably on the energy department, which had requested tens of billions in RD funding. They couldn't wait to get rid of that rotten piece of flesh. An hour before Jiang Si arrived, the energy department had completely separated from the group. Jiang Si's sufferings were only just beginning, yet he appeared before Jiang Luo in the guise of a hunter, completely unaware that he had long since become Jiang Luo's prey. Su Yuanbai is going to be your future sister-in-law. Jiang Si tossed down a card. I didn't tell you before because I was afraid you two would have a fight because of me. He was referring to the contract. Jiang Si spoke sharply, his tone severe. You live with him, take good care of him, understand? Jiang Luo picked up the bank card that had been deliberately thrown into the trash can and said with a smiling face, I will definitely take good care of sister-in-law. Double the punishment. Chapter 27 debuting at center position 26. Su Yuanbai's matter was forcibly suppressed by Jiang Si. But someone still let the news slip. That night, a trending topic shot into the top 10. Rumor. A trainee on the birth of an idol suspected of having a mental illness. As the Empire's hottest talent show, the birth of an idol comes with built-in buzz. Jiang Luo, ugly but with real talent, is in the lead. Behind him is Su Yuanbai, ugly, a mediocre internet-famous singer with an even uglier face. Besides, the two of them had their debut staged together. The level of discussion was actually higher than that of several other A-class contestants who were better looking and more capable. This trending topic even mentioned Jiang Luo. Haha, so ugly yet so confident, it's perfectly normal to feel inferior among a group of handsome guys. Is that really Jiang Luo? He looks so sunny, how could his mental state possibly be a problem? No spreading rumors, no believing rumors. Is it starting? Is it really starting? Right at the debut stage, they're already messing with people's minds. Appearances reflect the heart out of more than 100 trainees, whoever's the ugliest must be the sick one. Ha! Mental illness, ha! Official Weibo, you must protect my 99 darlings. Before the show aired, the show's production team had every trainee open a Weibo account. All were given the same name format, Idol 8XX. Because of the black hot search, they were associated with Jiang Luo. In just an hour over 20,000 people flooded into Jiang Luo's Weibo, leaving sarcastic and snide comments. Nowadays even lunatics can join talent shows. If you're sick, go get treatment, thanks. No way, there's no way no one knows Jiang Luo has mental issues, right? Get lost, you bunch of brain-dead fans. Luo, Mama loves you. Mama believes in you. Ugly people stir up trouble. More than 20,000 Weibo posts were almost all insulting Jiang Luo. His few pitiful fans couldn't control the comments. They tearfully cleaned up Jiang Luo's negative entries. Over and over they explained that Luo was completely fine, that the gossip accounts were lying. At first, the sound was very faint. 3 hours later, Jiang Luo ugly. Listing those ugly yet overly confident boy band members, example, Jiang Luo. 3 consecutive black hot searches were pinned at the top. Fans following the talent show immediately recognized someone was smearing Jiang Luo. They all developed a rebellious mindset. I didn't believe it a moment ago, but now I believe someone is out to get Jiang Luo. Rebellious. I really can't stand the ways of the entertainment industry. Listen up, some people's internet brigades. Beautiful faces are all the same, truly breathtaking talent is 1 in a million. TSK, do Jiang Luo's fans have a fetish for ugliness? Are we not even allowed to call someone ugly anymore? Shut mouths. The online public opinion battle raged loudly. The righteous netizens defending Jiang Luo gradually gained the upper hand. Half an hour later, the tide turned. Perfect comment control. Under the trending heat, all the attention was on Jiang Luo's stage performance. Against Su Yuanbai's contrast, Jiang Luo's otherwise ordinary face became unexpectedly radiant. The most dazzling things were his rocksteady stage presence and a voice that made people drop to their knees the moment he opened his mouth. In one night, Jiang Luo's Weibo followers surged by hundreds of thousands. He far outpaced the other trainees, who only had tens of thousands, or hadn't even reached 10,000. On the other side, Su Yuanbai, who had tried to manipulate public opinion, ended up losing out instead of gaining. The money spent on marketing went completely down the drain. When Jiang Xi heard the news, he frowned and called him, "Xiao Bai, you're playing with fire like this and could easily get burned." He knew Su Yuanbai wanted to make himself look like a pitiful little victim bullied by Jiang Luo. To craft an image of beautiful strength turned tragic. It's a relief that Su Yuanbai's face wasn't cut and inflamed by the glass. But what he's doing now is by no means a wise move. Su Yuanbai sneered, "What, feeling sorry for your beloved little brother?" Su Yuanbai. Jiang Xi detected the mockery in his tone, his handsome face darkened. Jiang Luo is my biological younger brother. Jiang Xi has a nasal tone when he speaks, the pronunciation of biological and beloved are similar. Su Yuanbai flew into a rage. You admitted it, you finally admitted it. I won't let you 2 dogmen have it easy. If that's the case, no one is going to form a group. Even if he dies, hell drag someone down with him. Su Yuanbai thought so. Chapter 28 debuting in the C position 27. A boy group can't do without singing and dancing. Jiang Luo and his teammates practiced until very late before returning. The first public performance will be in 2 days. Originally, the host was forced off the stage during the first performance. Su Yuanbai had even less right to advance. Jiang Luo walked into the room slowly, cradling his phone as he messaged Luo Xiaochen. Su Yuanbai saw his triumphant look and was sure he was in love. Definitely in love with Jiang Xi. Thinking this, Su Yuanbai grew insanely jealous. He forcibly suppressed the nausea in his heart and said coolly, "Jiang Luo, let's talk." Jiang Luo blinked, sent a voice message to the old man, "Baby, good night." The intimate term made Su Yuanbai shiver with cold anger, his eyes filled with red veins. "Baby, baby. Disgusting, disgusting. What are you talking about?" Jiang Luo smiled. "You didn't participate in training today, have you forgotten the moves? I'll teach you." Su Yuanbai shoved him hard, putting on an act, "Get out." The camera in the room captured the entire scene. "All right." Jiang Luo, in a good mood, said, "Say whatever you want." Just as Su Yuanbai was about to speak, he suddenly remembered the camera in the room and, in a fit of rage, tore it down and smashed it to pieces. He remembers the food but not the punishment, pointed at Jiang Luo's nose and cursed, "Aren't you cheap? Do you like playing the third party so much? Your mother was a mistress too, wasn't she? Su Yuanbai, show some respect." Jiang Luo rose calmly. "Do not insult my mother." Su Yuanbai sneered, "I'll insult her then. You were born of a whore." Smack smack smack. 3 sharp slaps answered Su Yuanbai. At the same time, it was 10 o'clock. The camera shut off. Jiang Luo's heavy fist struck his face, kicking him into the corner. The slender body cast a long shadow under the light. Su Yuanbai, who had collapsed into the shadow, suddenly felt a chill. A few days ago, Jiang Luo only tormented him after turning off the lights. This was the first time under the light. Because of the light, Su Yuanbai saw clearly for the first time what the boy looked like when he was angry. In just a few days, Jiang Luo had become dazzlingly radiant, so beautiful that one couldn't look away. He was smiling. The smile carried a chill, as if a demon crawling out of hell, beautiful yet chillingly cold. His sickly eyes seemed as if they wanted to kill, to tear the flesh from the bones piece by piece and arrange them into a pink skeletal frame. The terrifying thought made Su Yuanbai's hair stand on end, like a bristling cat. He sprang up. "Jiang Luo, what are you trying to do?" He's scared, really scared. Su Yuanbai had always thought he was dreaming, that there was something wrong with his mind. Now he understood. The one with the problem wasn't him, it was Jiang Luo. He would really kill someone. "It's 10 o'clock. Jiang Luo man said nonchalantly, "The dog has been beaten 3 times, it knows what to do at this hour. Do you want me to remind you?" Su Yuan's face went deathly pale. A chill shot from the soles of his feet to his head. Su Yuanbai's scalp went numb. He knew he'd gotten mixed up with a lunatic one with multiple personalities. Mentally ill people aren't punishable for murder, so. Attempting to resist, Su Yuanbai took off his socks, tears streaming down his face. "Wait." Jiang Luo clamped his mouth shut, drew a silvery dagger and dragged it across his face. "How dare you insult me just now? Now take back those slaps you gave me. I was raised by a whore, I was raised by a whore." Su Yuanbai slapped his own face repeatedly. "I'm wrong, I'm really wrong." Jiang Luo glanced coldly at his pockmarked face, a wave of disgust in his heart. Living with such an arrogant, domineering ugly bastard is so disgusting. I don't know how the original host ended up in the hands of such a brainless person. Su Yuanbai had a pretty face but was only fierce at home. The one who truly bound the original host's wings. It was Jiang Ci. Jiang Luo said irritably, "That's enough." Just as Su Yuanbai thought he was free. The slapping noise was deafening. Jiang Luo man said indifferently, "Tape your mouth shut and go to the bathroom to spank yourself for reflection. 2 hours of self-spanking, for every second less you'll break one of your fingers. It's collapsing, it's collapsing." Su Yuanbai's mentality completely collapsed. Chapter 29 debuting in the center position 28. The next morning, the first thing Su Yuanbai did when he got up from the bathroom was look at his face in the mirror. Last night he had slapped himself for 2 hours straight, his face was so swollen it was unbearable to look at. Strangely, there wasn't a single mark of injury. If it weren't for the fact that touching his face made him grit his teeth in pain. Su Yuanbai felt like what happened yesterday was a dream. Besides, the 5 fingers of his left hand that Jiang Luo had cut off were securely in his hand. But Su Yuanbai couldn't feel their presence. It was as if they had truly been severed. The back of my left hand burned with pain. Su Yuanbai, good morning. Jiang Luo greeted him cheerfully. Su Yuanbai's face was ashen. Good. After last night. Fear had taken deep root in his heart. Su Yuanbai dared not commit any further transgressions. He stood there completely dazed. Jiang Luo squeezed out the toothpaste, he sensibly stepped aside, lacking the courage and boldness he usually had to hog the wash basin completely cowardly. After washing up, Jiang Luo saw through the mirror Su Yuanbai's hand-flinging gesture, exposing 8 neat white teeth. Don't look, they were all neatly cut off and thrown into the trash can. He paused. Like a devil's whisper, it made her whole body tremble. You dropped it yourself, you know. Su Yuan's eyes were rimmed with red. You said it was a BJD doll's finger. I don't play with BJDs, where would I get something like that? Jiang Luo sneered, what a pretty useless person. Oh, I misspoke, an ugly fucking useless person. He made no effort to hide his malice toward Su Yuan. Su Yuanbai's heart jolted, and he looked at Jiang Luo again. He stared at the radiant, snow-white-skinned, ridiculously handsome youth and widened his eyes. You, how did you become like this? Jiang Luo's first stage audition had been tacky and low-class. Now he's completely transformed. Plastic surgery? Cosmetic treatment? No, 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 impossible. They haven't been apart for days. Jiang Luo had no opportunity for any upkeep. A charming smile rose at the corner of Jiang Luo's mouth. His expression reflected his heart. In the mirror, Jiang Luo's face was fair and delicate, the vigor of youth shining. The other eye socket was as black as ink, cheeks swollen, pitted, with listless, cloudy eyes like those of a 50-year-old, his complexion extremely poor. Ugly, so ugly. The stark contrast made Su Yuanbai unable to look directly at the mirror, he panicked and ran out. Ever since Su Yuanbai developed a psychological shadow toward Jiang Luo, he had behaved himself until the first public performance. Dreamlike stage lights shone on Jiang Luo, and below the stage 500 fans cheered in unison. Although the center position was held by Su Yuanbai, Jiang Luo was the most eye-catching person. The soft lights gently outlined the youth's delicate brows and eyes, his skin was fair, and beneath his narrow peach blossom eyes hung a teardrop mole about to fall, the corners of his eyes alluring. Damn, anyone who says Jiang Luo is ugly can donate their eyes. Mom. I saw an angel. I'm stunned. In just 1 week, Jiang Luo has changed so much. He's so handsome. Speechless. He sings such a difficult song with ease. Jiang Luo is the student who's changed the most I've ever seen, I adore him. TSK, how does Su Yuanbai have the nerve to stand in the center? Get off the stage. Has Su Yuanbai had 10 vials of hyaluronic acid injected? His face is swollen like a pig's head. I thought Su Yuanbai's initial stage was already terrible, but I didn't expect it could be even worse, and she went off key. Luo is so outstanding, son, mommy is going to debut you in the center position. Hearing the audience's scornful voices, Su Yuanbai's face went deathly pale, and she actually forgot the dance moves. In the end, Jiang Luo's group placed last. And the trainees' efforts were all for nothing. Chapter 30 Debut as C Position 29. The pressure from on stage and off completely shattered Su Yuanbai's psychological bottom line. He acted on impulse. He immediately announced his withdrawal from the birth of an idol. Thunderous applause. Fans are grateful that he no longer tortures their ears and eyes. Jiang Luo Group ranked last in the first public performance. But Jiang Luo's score firmly sits at the top of the leaderboard. 500 audience members, each with 1 vote to cast for the trainees. Each of the 5 mentors held 1 vote. Jiang Luo soared ahead with 530 votes. He led the second place by a full 50 votes. 5 mentors, 4 gave 20 points. Luo Xiaochen was the only one who didn't give any. The charm Jiang Luo exuded on stage exploded across the sky. Luo Xiaochen was so enchanted he couldn't look away. He heard the audience behind him scream like a mountain of waves, and felt very irritated. Wishing he could snatch his beloved off the stage, hide them away, and enjoy them alone. The fans were screaming for Jiang Luo. Luo Xiao only found them noisy. He thought about how in the future thousands upon thousands of people would compete with him for the same person. Luo Xiaochen felt a toothache, and in a fit of jealousy he missed the voting deadline. After the match, when the media interviewed Su Yuanbai about his sudden withdrawal, Jiang Luo, pinned by Luo Xiaochen against the dressing room door, was being kissed until he was breathless. Luo Xiaochen's strong, powerful hand pressed against Jiang Luo's ear as he ground his teeth and asked, "Lolo, how many people have you dated? Damn it, that kissing skill is so practiced. Just how many people did you practice with?" He imagined that before him, Lolo might have been with many people. Luo Xiaochen felt as if his heart were on fire. The woody scent of snow-white gentian floated into Jiang Luo's nose. He took a deep breath of the intoxicating fragrance, a faint blush rising to his ears, and said shyly, "You are my first love." This was no lie. When Jiang Luo had carried out missions before, he was a cold-blooded, heartless tool, disdainful of love. Completing tasks to obtain the power of faith and wrecking the heavenly Tao alliance is his only goal. Loving Luo Xiaochen in this world is something he never imagined. He cultivates the heavenly Tao, acting in accordance with fate. Before his father God ascended, he predicted that he would have a karmic entanglement with a love that would last 100 lifetimes. Luo Xiaochen appeared just at the moment he was undergoing his tribulation. So, Jiang Luo accepted the relationship so quickly. Smooch. Luo Xiaochen gave Jiang Luo a hard peck, the cold, sharp lines of his brows and eyes overflowed with a satisfied smile. In an instant, the ice and snow melted, and a springtime of flowers bloomed across the hills in Jiang Luoxin's heart. He couldn't help but rise onto his toes and kiss his lover's sensual lips. Luo Xiaochen was teased until his heart itched with impatience. With long arms he drew the youth close, keeping him confined in his embrace. A moment later, Luo Xiaochen leaned against the wall with a look of contentment, a satisfied smile crossing his brow. "Should I carry you back? Just a kiss." Jiang Luo lifted Luo Xiaochen's perfect chin and smiled, "Talk to me when you've made me unable to get out of bed." Luo Xiaochen's smile faded, he became very serious. "When that happens, don't kneel and beg for mercy." Kneeling on the ground. Jiang Luo's eyes lit up. This reminded him of a certain scene in the fire avoidance diagram. Instantly understanding, Luo Xiaochen. "When it comes to dirty talk, I can't. I really can't." Ha 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 ha. Seeing the top's bewildered face, Jiang Luo laughed wickedly, "I'm off. The first stage performance has ended. The date for the second performance has been set." Jiang Luo sat steadily in Class A, and now he had to go to the practice room to choose a new piece. He left the dressing room. Luo Xiaochen's assistant hurriedly ran in right after. "Boss, Jiang Ci has made a move." Luo Xiaochen's expression was cold. How many damaging trending topics did he buy for Luo for his little lover? The assistant said solemnly, "It wasn't just the damaging trending topics. Jiang Ci spent a large sum to bribe the senior executives in Jiang Luo Company's energy department. 7 executives, 6 have submitted their resignations. This was not a simple act of retaliation. Jintuan, oh ho. Mommy's jealous. Chapter 31. Debuting in Xpot 30. From this it seems Jiang Xi truly decided to drive Jiang Luo to the brink. Not only to vent anger on behalf of Su Yuanbai. Jiang's father knew Jiang Luo held 15% of the shares. Jiang Xi would not let Jiang Luo off. Because he felt he owed his youngest son a great deal. When Jiang's father gave all the shares in his hands to Jiang Luo, he also had Jiang's mother give the nominal but powerless vice president position to Jiang Luo. He had originally hoped his youngest son would live as a leisurely man of means under Jiang Xi's protection. With the shares in hand, he would have a slightly better life in this lifetime. To make up for what they owed their youngest son. Who knew Jiang Xi actually had his eyes on the hot money of the entertainment industry. He handed the cornerstone businesses of Jiang Corporation over to Jiang Luo. The energy industry is extremely polluting, with complex and difficult procedures. Moreover, the upfront investment is very high, and the results are slow to appear later. Although it doesn't bring money as quickly as the entertainment industry. But it's reliable. Some time ago, Jiang Xi misjudged the situation, causing Jiang Corporation to have cash flow difficulties. At this critical moment, he must centralize power, seize absolute authority and carry out drastic reforms. Advance, advance, advance by any means necessary. The shares held by Jiang Luo were previously in Jiang's father's hands. Mr. Jiang was steady and methodical in his work, advancing step by step with a solid footing. Jiang Xi, on the other hand, had a swift and decisive style. If the shares were in his father's hands, he would never be able to centralize power. Now Jiang Xi has extended his hand into the energy department. Jiang Luo only had two choices. Either take the money and get lost. Or end up with neither people nor wealth, gaining nothing. If the Jiang brothers fought among themselves, our Luo family would watch the two sides tear each other apart and profit for ourselves. The assistant didn't believe Luo Xiaochen would give up the juicy opportunity within reach for some obscure little celebrity. Perfect. The assistant's eyes lit up. Once Jiang Xi had taken all of Jiang Luo's things, he would have no choice but to rely on you completely. You'd have an extra golden pigeon, when you got tired of it, you could just. Luo Xiaochen shot a dagger glance. The assistant shivered and awkwardly fell silent. Then his eyes widened. Booze, you wouldn't be for real, would you? There are so many handsome men and beautiful women in the entertainment industry, so many people strip and jump into boss's bed, yet none make the boss stir. Jiang Luo, why him? Because he's good-looking, sings well, and has a great personality. You called to warn Jiang Xi and the others, watching the hypocrites who eat from one bowl while eyeing the pot. Luo Xiaochen's brows were stern. His gaze as sharp and cold as a blade, shooting out shards of heart-freezing light, like a drawn sword aimed straight at an enemy's vulnerable heart, a killing strike. Luo Xiaochen's dominance in the entertainment industry was his own doing. But anyone with even a little background knew. Behind young Master Luo stands the Luo family, which controls the economic lifeline of the Empiria household of bell-ringing feasts passed down for 1,000 years. Possessing vast resources, it is a colossal entity that has stood for millennia. Young Master Luo is designated as the head of the family. The assistant said solemnly, he is the boss. Jiang Xi still didn't know he had angered two fierce wolves. With one hand he manipulated public opinion. With the other he plotted to seize from Jiang Luo the power he coveted. The first episode's premiere on the video platform reached over 100 million views in less than 3 hours. The paid shills Jiang Xihua bought. Like sharks scenting blood, charged straight for Jiang Luo's group's performance clips. Before the trainees went on stage, the program team would first air videos of the trainees rehearsing privately, letting the audience see the team's growth. To create suspense. Then it was the students' turn to take the stage. The Jiang Group CEO's office. Jiang Xi leaned wearily against Su Yuanbai's shoulder. Over the years, the two had broken up and gotten back together, quarreled and made up countless times. The two of them were like a lotus root cut into pieces, seemingly separated, but actually still tied together by countless threads. Su Yuanbai regarded Jiang Xi as the only light in his life. Jiang Xi, on the other hand, was obsessed with the endless vitality he exuded. Su Yuanbai's anger, rage, gentleness, and obedience were all nutrients he desperately needed. Can't live without it. Don't worry. Jiang Xi turned on the smart TV. Xiao Bai. Your decision to quit the competition was really too hasty. I had someone edit that video out, so don't worry, you'll definitely debut in the center. Some life finally came back into Su Yuanbai's eyes. He murmured, Brother Jiang Xi. Good boy. Jiang Xi adored Su Yuanbai's obedient, delicate demeanor. Brother has a gift for you, you'll definitely like it. Jiang Xi dragged the progress bar to the performance footage of Jiang Luo's group. The next second, the smile froze on his face. Chapter 32 Debut in the Center Position 31. The song's election details before Jiang Luo's group's performance were released. But the result was completely different from what Jiang Xi had arranged. On the show, the editor's scissors, by rearranging the order, could make a calm, boring video seethe with rage. Jiang Xi ordered the editor to cut Jiang Luo into a hypocrite who would stop at nothing to win. He was kind to the trainees to pander to the audience. Privately he complained that his teammates sang badly and beat up his roommate Su Yuanbai. Paint Jiang Luoli as a sinister, venomous little man. Jiang Xi deliberately instructed the editor to cut Jiang Luo's shots with low or high angles, dark backgrounds, and a gloom filter, using cinematography to tell the audience he was a treacherous petty person. But the footage showed Jiang Luo speaking eloquently, responsibly helping teammates solve problems, tirelessly practicing with members, looking sunny and aristocratic. Fans would initially watch the trainees' lives with curiosity. Subjectively judge whether the trainees are kind and upright. On the screen, Jiang Luo is full of a sense of responsibility, the smile at the corner of his mouth gentle and pure, making people exclaim little angel. Through the camera, tens of thousands of viewers see up close a handsome young man who is serious and responsible. It wasn't the ugly, disgraceful sight Jiang Xi had expected. Someone's here. Jiang Xi was furious to the extreme, almost smashing the TV. The assistant knocked and entered tremblingly. General Jiang. Who edited this video? Jiang Xi angrily pointed at the TV. Bring that person to me, I will hold them accountable. The astroturfers poised at the computer copied and pasted the prepared text. TSK TSK TSK, Jiang Luo has terrible character, even fighting for the vocal position himself, how disgusting. Ugly ugly ugly, Jiang Luo ugly ugly. I can't stand Jiang Luo bullying the team members like this anymore. I'm done, quitting. So annoying, why is everyone spamming about Jiang Luo everywhere? Can't they see other contestants? Do Jiang Luo's fans think their ugly lord is handsome? Fans watching the video looked at the strange barrage of comments bashing Jiang Luo and felt puzzled. The paid posters are way too obvious, bro, you got exposed. So flashy it's clearly Su Yuanbai who stole the vocal, are the shills blind? Meow meow meow. Jiang family's Meow Army, get out of the entertainment industry. You're a tumor, go away. The fans' barrage quickly drowned out the shills' comments. The leader of the shill army, who had been directing thousands, stared at the disaster unfolding and was instantly stunned. He has a KPI of posting 10,000 black comments about Jiang Luo. Staring at the boy in the video who was excessively beautiful. A voice that could make people kneel when it spoke. After learning that Jiang Luo had mastered rap in just 3 days, the leader of the paid commentators posted a Weibo. Jiang Luo really is a heavenly descended Ziwei star, debuting in the center as everyone expected. The handsome younger brother is so pretty. Under the Water Army leader's Weibo were all the fans' taunts. Not popular, just loves to leech off others. I'll smash your mother's dog's head. Get lost. You dead dog. Taking money to smear Luo Luo, may you drop dead today. Oh my, the leader of the 800,000 strong troll army finally said something human. Teehee, how disgusting. The troll leader replied below, being a shill is my livelihood, loving Luo is my dream. Chaos and bloodshed online. In reality, Jiang Si's assistant soothed him, boss, don't worry yet, I've already had someone verify who the editor is. The editor did not embellish anything. He simply distilled the classics and faithfully restored the story as it was. Chapter 33, debuting in the center position 32. A dozen minutes later, the editor knocked and entered nervously. Jiang Ci was flipping through the documents on his lap. Hearing the voice, he looked up, did you edit this? The editor flinched and glanced at him, then nodded. How did you do it? Jiang Ci put down the documents. No, rather, why did you do it this way? An invisible weight settled on the editor's shoulders, heavy and oppressive. The oppressive atmosphere in the office compressed the air all around. The editor's breath faltered. Director Jiang. I simply edited the footage as it was, without embellishing anything, and certainly without defaming anyone. She was just a lowly editor. She had no power to decide anything. Jiang Ci smashed his phone onto the editor. You tell me, is this what you call not guiding the audience to maliciously speculate about Su Yuanbai? The editor muttered softly, that's just the truth, him not smearing anyone. Su Yuanbai has always been terrible, everyone knows he bullied Luo. He met Jiang Ci's cold gaze. The editor was afraid, but there was a hint of resentment toward the capitalists in his eyes, along with condemnation of the unfair treatment Jiang Luoyu had received. You misled the audience into insulting and defaming the trainees of the birth of an idol, causing irreparable damage to the company's and Mr. Su Yuanbai's reputation and image. You are fired, before you leave. Please settle the corresponding debts. Jiang Ci gave his assistant a look. The assistant took out the contract. The editor looked and felt his heart drop halfway. Wanted me to compensate 3 million. Yes, ma'am. The assistant said unsympathetically, 3 million is just the minimum. To get Su Yuanbai debuted, Director Jiang pulled strings everywhere and spent more than 10 million. The editor snapped angrily, I won't accept this, it's unfair. There is no such thing as fairness in this world. Jiang Ci glanced at Su Yuanbai who had slipped into the lounge, his face as cold as still water. Back then I told you how to do it, and you did exactly that. This isn't punishment, it's the lesson you deserve. Jiang Ci's bloodthirsty gaze frightened the video editor into taking 2 steps back, not noticing someone behind him. Luo Xiaochen stepped aside to avoid him. And his assistant hurried to grab the editor. Luo Xiaochen's ice-crushing eyes were so cold they made people tremble. President Jiang, what a presence you have, my people, you say to fire them and they're fired. Your man. Jiang Ci's face changed drastically. So you're saying this video was edited on Master Luo's orders? This is my final warning. Luo Xiaochen crossed his arms, his arrogant brows slanting toward his temples, exuding an imposing aura. Jiang Luo is mine. If you dare lay a hand on him, I have 10,000 ways to make you wish you were dead. These words left everyone in the room stunned. Jiang Ci was dumbfounded. Luo Xiao wielded enormous power in the entertainment industry, able to turn things around at will. No one had ever heard of him liking men. Even if he did like men, he wouldn't be into someone as rustic as Jiang Luo. Su Yuanbai, who had been hiding in the bedroom with a lifeless face, suddenly brightened up. Luo Xiaochen likes Jiang Luo. Jiang Luo is gay. This secret is worth a fortune. If he makes this secret public, Jiang Luo can forget about debuting for the rest of his life. One more reminder. Luo Xiaochen's gaze, sharp as a blade, landed on the bedroom. Mind your dog. I never look at the owner when I beat the dog. The piercing look seemed to have the power to penetrate reinforced concrete. Su Yuanbai's heart lurched violently. The thought that had just surfaced was frightened away by that gaze. Sorry, young Master Luo, I didn't know the editor worked for you. Jiang Ci, having his foot firmly kicked onto an iron plate, hurriedly offered apologies. The Jiang group was rocked by storms because of his own radical decision. At this point, provoking Luo Xiaochen would have endless repercussions. After seeing Luo Xiaochen off, Jiang Zixin was still shaken. Su Yuanbai was definitely out of the berth of an idol. He had no way to debut Little Bai. Make Jiang Luo never be able to debut for the rest of his life, make him lose everything. This had become Jiang Xi's obsession. The obsession had to be fulfilled. Chapter 34 Debut in the center position 33. The posture is wrong, it should be like this. Sigh, Luo Xiao, be gentler, you're hurting me. Baby, bear with it, it'll be over soon. In the practice room, Luo Xiaochen had his hands on Jiang Luo's fair, straight legs, helping him stretch. Jiang Luo had his hands braced on the bar, his forehead covered in a dense sheen of sweat. Since Su Yuanbai left the stage and Jiang Ci was warned, he kept a low profile for a while. Jiang Luo's own strength was extraordinary, he advanced rapidly and solidly held first place, becoming the light everyone looked up to. The 6th episode of The Birth of an Idol had reached its midpoint. The promotion rounds had begun. As a newly risen idol, Jiang Luo's Weibo followers skyrocketed by millions, and he is now a top-tier celebrity with tens of millions of fans. A single stage move or a trivial incident can shoot to the top of Weibo's trending list. Fans multiply exponentially, and their fighting spirit is extraordinary. Aside from the fixed songs assigned to the trainees, the 9th episode songs. Each trainee must prepare at least 2 additional PK pieces. Jiang Luo prepared a song he wrote himself, with Luo Xiaochen in charge of the mixing. When the music was being recorded, everyone cast astonished looks at Jiang Luo. Luo Xiao's assistant shed tears of envy. Hard work pays off, then what's the use of being a genius? He had underestimated Jiang Luo before. Jiang Luo hadn't even debuted with a group yet, but already showed the momentum and force of a top-tier idol. Not only were the metrics a cut above, and the fanbase disproportionate, even Pato support fans left the second place 800 meters behind. The dance teacher advised Jiang Luo not to just stand there and perform. What matters most for a boy band is singing and dancing. So Luo Xiaochen hired the best dance teacher in the entertainment industry for Jiang Luo himself. Enough, enough. Jiang Luo cried out in mock pain, his pretty face scrunched up, limp as if boneless as he lay in Luo Xiaochen's arms. You said something before we started basics practice. I didn't hear you. Luo Xiaochen domineeringly lifted Luo Yuo's fair, slender leg, his knuckles-defined fingers massaging her tense nerves. My mother already knows we're together. Luo Xiaochen felt his hand tense for an instant, a smile flashing in his eyes. She likes you very much, she asked when he'll bring you home to see her. Visit parents? Generally speaking. You only go to see the other's parents when you're going to get married. Luo Xiaochen lowered his eyes. The boy's nervous face was reflected in eyes as black as ink. Asking knowingly, very nervous? Not at all. Jiang Luo, playing the stubborn dead duck, said, given your family background, I thought at the very least we'd have to go through all kinds of trials and tribulations, level up through battles, and in the end lovers would be united, a perfect happy ending. When Luo Xiaochen revealed his background, Jiang Luo had Jintuan investigate the old man's family members. The Luo family was a colossal behemoth. The Jiang family is insignificant in its presence. Exclusiveness is a common affliction of great clans. Luo Xiaochen's eyes darkened, they did not dare. The person he liked. Don't talk about family opposition. Not even life and death can separate them. Smooch. Jiang Luo rolled over and pinned Luo Xiao to the ground, his slender waist twisting. Decisive and ferocious eye like that. Luo Xiaochen's gaze suddenly heated, as if he wanted to tear open his abdomen, and the indescribable part began to change. Jiang Luo had no idea, my mom especially likes you, too. When the talent show is over, I'll take you home. Jiang's father and mother poured out their hearts to Jiang Luo. The two elderly parents who didn't follow celebrities had, during this time, learned to vote and generate data. They were Jiang Luo's biggest spenders of paid support. They only wanted their youngest son to be happy and joyful. No wonder such parents made the original host prefer to bear the stigma of plagiarism and ruin her own prospects, spending every last effort to protect her family. Being good to Jiang Luo was virtue. Being bad to him was vice. This was Jiang Luo's style and principle for dealing with people and the world. Has no concept of obeying laws or discipline. The lord of the shrine behaves arrogantly and wantonly. Unrestrained. Heh. Luo Xiaochen chuckled softly. He turned the tables, pinning the youth beneath him, his large hand slipping into the youth's waist and abdomen. Luo, you play with fire, you put it out yourself. Chapter 35 Debut in the C Position 34. Jiang Luo's face was flushed, he pushed away Luo Xiao, who looked satisfied, and panted heavily. Although they hadn't gone all the way, under his training Luo Xiao became increasingly unrestrained and bold. He suspected that this guy was a dirty old lecher at heart. Stop playing around and get to work. Jiang Luo put down the clothing pushed down to his chest and earnestly practiced singing and dancing. Luo Xiaochen raised an eyebrow and stood up, giving stern guidance. He wouldn't relax his standards just because the student was his lover. High standards, strict demands, meticulous. The solemn older man exuded an endless, boundless charm that made Jiang Luo's heart race and admire his own discernment. The seventh round was 36-24. According to the rules, those about to be eliminated have one and only one chance to challenge a Class A student. Challenge successful, advanced smoothly, and became a Class A student. Class A students were directly eliminated, only the revival match offered a chance to come back. Jiang Luo's group finished performing, he was far ahead of all the students. I will challenge the top scorer on the leaderboard, Jiang Luo. A student from Class F stepped forward. The fans watching in the audience were ecstatic. Ah, it's Aliyah, he's amazing. A washed-up contestant who tried 3 times and never debuted, going up against Luoyuo's courting humiliation. Go, Luo, go. After the host went through the rules in order, he let the trainees choose first. Let me go first. Aliyah walked up to Jiang Luo. He stepped away from the microphone and said in an unfriendly tone, brother. Don't blame yourself for offending a very important person. Jiang Luo smiled. Jiang Ci. I'll tell you quietly, Jiang Ci is a capricious, treacherous little man. You'd better win, if you lose, you'll suffer unbearable revenge. He smiled like a little devil. He also looked like a hunter waiting by a tree for a rabbit. Watching his parents on the screen cheering for Jiang Luo, Jiang Ci felt a surge of pent-up emotion. Since childhood, his parents had always favored his younger brother in everything. The tasty food goes to the younger brother first. When the younger brother wants a toy, the parents buy it right away. But when he only wanted a game console, Father Jiang scolded him for lacking ambition. Jiang Ci, who had never lost his position as top of the grade, did not understand. He is clearly so outstanding, why can't they see it, only noticing Jiang Luo who reaches out for handouts and opens his mouth to be fed. Could it be that because Jiang Luo is young, he can be blatantly favored? What, because he's the family's heir and bears the rise and fall of the clan, he cannot have familial affection if he wants power? Ha! Jiang Ci never told anyone that he had deliberately let go of his younger brother's hand back then. Without his brother, he was the only one left in the family. As expected. After his parents blamed him, they poured all their love onto him, and he received the familial affection he had longed for. Only his father still kept thinking about that bumpkin. Jiang Ci thought he could keep going on like this forever. He glared at Jiang Luo viciously, grinding his teeth. Why did you come back? Because of Jiang Luo's return. Hates traffic stars with a passion. The father who scoffs at fan culture actually studies how to chart and manipulate data. The mother even rallies all her sisters to spend money on Jiang Luo, helping him debut in the center position. Being favored makes one act recklessly, right? The camera sweeps over Father Jiang and Mother Jiang's faces, brimming with happiness. Their radiant smiles stab sharply at Jiang Si's eyes, the pain makes tears stream down his face. The higher you stand, the harder you fall. Jiang Si takes out his phone and swipes the screen. Ready. Boss, ready. Jiang Luo's group has started singing too. Prepare the PR copy, you don't need to explain much to the fans. Even if this show is ruined, we can't let Jiang Luo advance smoothly. Do it properly, you know the consequences. Chapter 36 Debut in the center position 35. On site. Jiang Luo looked at the glow sticks like starlight, her delicate brows and eyes fixed on the camera. I don't need any music for this song. At these words, the entire room erupted in uproar. Alias' face drained white in an instant. Starting from the qualifiers, this talent show had switched from pre-recorded episodes to live broadcasts. Because the fanbase was large enough. The program had become a household name. Not only did the number of fans not decrease, it actually made more people believe in the program's fairness. Sitting in front of the screen and in the audience were all the sponsors' money men of the trainee students. Each competition felt like the college entrance exam, the fans were even more nervous than the trainees. Before the show aired, Jiang Si forcibly replaced the lighting technician, the music director, and even the subtitles operator with his own people. As long as Jiang Luo takes the stage to perform, the piece he had prepared would be altered, music that Jiang Luo simply had no time to sing would catch him off guard. Besides that, the shield Jiang Si both in front of the computer screen and in the audience had been readied. Everything was in place except for the crucial push. Who would have thought Jiang Luo didn't need lighting or music? Everything Jiang Si had carefully prepared was ruined. Plan B. A crack appeared on Jiang Sijin's face as he made the request to the advisor refused Jiang Luo's demand. If they didn't comply, they'd never get any sponsorship or cooperation from the Jiang group again. I advise President Jiang not to act rashly. Ro Xiao's assistant appeared as if from nowhere, a polite commercial smile on his refined face. The Jiang group's cash flow has problems and you're looking everywhere for financing, right? Jiang Si jumped up. How did you get in here? Don't worry about how I got here, I'm just an unfeeling messenger. The assistant pushed up his gold-rimmed glasses. Ah, time's up. From now on, the Jiang group won't be able to raise a single cent, either openly or behind the scenes. Farewell. No matter how powerful the Luo family is, don't forget, a starving camel is still bigger than a horse. Jiang Si said coldly, young Master Luo has hands that reach the heavens, controls investment companies and banks. Does he also control my private property? The Jiang group was facing a severe financial crisis. Those senior executives in the energy department hadn't left Jiang Luo's company. Instead, he became even more driven than before, immediately taking on a 3 billion order from the Luo family and making a fortune. The relationship between Luo Xiaochen and Jiang Luo was Jiang Si's trump card. Who else had Jiang Luo repeatedly promised to support all of his decisions? So what if he took tens of billions from the energy company to keep things running? The tighter Luo restrained himself, the more benefits he gained from Jiang Luo. Thinking this, Jiang Si felt invincible. The assistant turned back, forcing a smile. You don't need to fly into a rage. I told you, I'm just a messenger. Thud. Jiang Si was furious, itching to kill. At the same time, on stage, Jiang Luo took out a childlike guitar. His beautiful eyes faced the camera. His smile fresh and clean. This song is for my parents and the brother who loves me. Thanks to my family, they have given me the utmost warmth. I love them. In the audience, Jiang's father and mother had tears in their eyes. The camera panned to the two of them, and the elegant noblewoman and the entrepreneur leaning on each other appeared on the big screen. Ah, father-in-law and mother-in-law. Father-in-law and mother-in-law. Woo-woo, they are so wonderful, only such good parents could have raised such an outstanding Luo. It's been many years since I heard a song written for loved ones on stage, especially at such a tense PK moment. Jiang's father and mother felt both guilty and moved. He kept thinking that if the little baby hadn't gotten lost, their family would be whole and intact. How wonderful that would be. Outside the screen, Jiang Sis' eyes were bloodshot. A flicker of panic crossed his mind. Chapter 37 debuting in the C position 36. Jiang Sis' plan B was to force all the mentors to give Jiang Luo 0 points. At the same time, he had the tech department tamper with the ticket machines of all the audience members. There were 5,000 people in the live audience. No matter how many votes Jiang Luo actually received on site, there would always only be a pitiful 300 votes. As for the reason, naturally the mentor would explain it. The audience would also follow the mentor's lead in their thinking. At the same time, online opinion was controlled, with paid posters professionally boosting the mentors. All of it aimed to have Jiang Luo eliminated. On the set of The Birth of an Idol. Jiang Looking's clear, lucid voice seemed as if it had been kissed by God. The songs that came from his throat were not songs, but stories. Dear Mom and Dad, you raised me. The voice, full of deep emotion, slowly sang a song praising his parents. The melody was beautiful, the voice unique, and in everyone's mind scenes of their parents raising them with hardship and toil flashed before them. Crying erupted both on stage and in the audience. The sobs grew louder and louder. When Jiang Luo finished singing, the 5 mentors all except Luo Xiao had tears streaming down their faces. Lolo, did you know? You made me cry with your singing. The host wiped away tears. You're amazing, you're the first to make the live audience and the judges cry. Jiang Luo's beautiful eyes held tears. Thank you. In the end, no matter what the result, I love my mom and dad, I love my brother. At the mention of his brother, a cruel, evil smile flashed in his eyes. Jiang Luo looked at his parents, now a blot of tears, and forced himself not to laugh. Dear brother, your strongest, most solid backing is gone. The host took a deep breath. Please give your scores. Everyone finished scoring. The big screen showed Alia with 4,530 votes. Jiang Luo only scored a pitiful 300 points. In an instant, the whole venue erupted. What the heck? I gave Luo a score, why didn't he get any points? Damn, I recorded the scoring video just to see Luo advance. There are way more than 300 girls around. It's fake. Trash show, give Luo justice. Father Jiang and Mother Jiang looked at the wildly different scores and a layer of gloom appeared on their faces. The audience's calls for a recount nearly overturned the stadium. The show's director sat awkwardly in place and, through the earpiece, shouted frantically to the judges, say something. What do you want them to say? Luo Xiaochen switched the channel to the public one so all the staff and trainees wearing headsets could hear clearly. Say you were faking it? The indifferent voice carried not a hint of emotion. It felt like a bucket of cold water dumped over their heads. Everyone shivered. The director looked at Jiang's parents, who were also wearing headsets, and broke out in a cold sweat. The director was helpless. Young Master Luo, let's talk this through. I have to obey Mr. Jiang's orders. Jiang Luo has no backing, he. Luo Xiaochen's gaze was heavy. Are you treating my words like wind in your ears? The director's heart skipped a beat. Recount the votes, he'll only say it once. Luo Xiaochen removed his headset and said to the audience behind him, technical malfunction, please remain calm and wait 5 minutes. Jiang Luo's votes will be recounted. After speaking, Luo Xiaochen said to the 4 mentors, what do you think? The four, moved to tears, saw Luo Xiaochen take the blame himself and, overwhelmed with joy, cried, "We agree." Luo Xiaochen's fair attitude won applause from the whole room. Finally, the votes were counted. Jiang Luo, 4953. Aliyah, 203. Polls reversed. When the host announced Jiang Luo Jin advancing, the whole audience cheered. When he sent Arya away, the cheers rang through the sky. Happily sent off. The audience could barely contain themselves, wanting to pull out swanas and start celebrating. Chapter 38 debuting in the C position 37. Behind the scenes of the show. Mr. Jiang and Mrs. Jiang thanked the tall, well-built man. Young Master Luo, if you hadn't defended Luo, his dream would have been crushed. The well-maintained matron took Jiang Luo's arm and thanked him gracefully, her pretty eyes glistening with tears. Jiang Luo smiled and said, "Mom, he was just doing what he should." Silly child. Madame Jiang smiled at her son's innocence. If it weren't for Luo Shaoli protecting you, you'd have suffered badly today, you know that? Go thank Luo Xiao. Jiang Luo smiled and said, "Thank you, Luo Xiao. Auntie, Luo is right. As my mentor, it's only natural to protect me." Luo Xiao emphasized the word "my" heavily. You can safely entrust Luo to me. Madame Jiang didn't catch the double meaning and was genuinely happy that her little darling had found a backer in the entertainment industry. He spoke as if with honey on his lips, praising young Master Luo's extraordinary skill, avant-garde boldness, a genius among geniuses, the unparalleled godfather of music. Mother-in-law's praise of Luo Xiaochen was gladly accepted. Father-in-law's compliments made him feel elated. He and Jiang Luo looked at each other. Jiang Luo gave him a wink, innocent yet sultry. The old man's heart skipped a beat, and for the first time his face reddened. Seeing this, Jiang's father and mother lavished praise once more, then took their son to find the director. The director dared not speak out of turn to the two former chairmen. With a cold face he said to Jiang Luo, "Consider yourself lucky. It's getting Latigo train." "Director, is this how you treat my son?" Jiang's protective mother frowned. "Jiang Xia, you treat your younger brother like this?" Son. The director was dumbfounded. "Jiang Luo is your family's son, the second young master who was just found." "Jiang Luo, my brother didn't tell you." It felt as if the director had been slapped by someone, his face burned with pain, and he kept apologizing profusely. I'm sorry. The director was so embarrassed he almost cried. "The whole thing was Mr. Jiang's doing. I was just following orders." "Madam, Mr. Jiang, I have elderly dependents and young children. What will happen to them if I lose my job?" Mr. and Mrs. Jiang sneered coldly. "Your job is what's important. My son's future isn't important. Your family is precious, and my little baby is just a weed." Mrs. Jiang's graceful face crumpled. The director, sweating profusely with anxiety, began using polite speech. "Lolo, please say a few words for me." "Mom, don't be angry. I think there might be a misunderstanding," Jiang Luo said. "I trust my brother. I believe he'll die sooner." Jiang's mother ruffled her son's hair. "We'll talk about it when we get back." Jiang's father told the director, "You don't need to come." Jiang Luo took a leave from the production team. On the way back, use spirit sense to contact Jintuan. "Kiddo, where are Jiang Xi and Su Yuanbai?" "Dad, Jiang Xi is at home, Su Yuanbai is on his way to your house." Jintuan paused. "Dad, oh Dad, Jiang Sis Company's funding has been cut off, Su Yuanbai is having mental issues, you'll definitely debut in the C position, the original host's wishes are all fulfilled. Shouldn't we leave now?" "No rush," Jiang Luo said, "Jiang Xi hasn't taken all his things yet. Besides, the top is not yet trained to its best state, definitely not leaving." Jin Tuan sat on Jiang Luo's head. "What else?" "Acute. Family ties. A flash of murderous intent crossed Jiang Luo's eyes. Jiang Xie used family affection to kidnap the original owner. Such trash doesn't deserve parents. Jintuan widened his eyes. Dad, don't kill him, you're killing again. Sigma. To destroy someone, you must drive them mad. Jiang Luo toyed with his long fingers. Jiang Xie wants to use me to restrain Luo Xiao and our parents, hee, how interesting. Jiang Luo's smile was serene, and the vengeful aura he gave off frightened Jintuan into diving into his sea of consciousness. Dad is about to make a big move, looking forward to it. Omega. The hunting game has begun.